While Kong Ji-woong thought he was just a regular good guy on campus, a hidden camera was already quietly fixed on him. 10 years of peaceful illusion were about to shatter. The fragile satisfaction built on a masquerade of goodness was instantly shattered by reality. When the classmate he had helped called him an angel, the irony nearly drowned him. He worked so hard, all for that worthwhile reason in his heart. A single smile from his childhood friend Seol-jin in the morning classroom was all the motivation he needed to pretend for 10 years. But this fairy tale was about to expire. The turning point came without warning. When he saw Seol-jin standing with those delinquents and wanted to rush over, she stopped him herself. He could only watch like a coward from afar. At that moment, powerlessness and anxiety tore his ordinary life to pieces. The most brutal shock arrived. Jin Cheol dared to flirt with Seol-jin right on the street, almost kissing her. Ji-woong's worldview completely collapsed in that second. The goodness he pretended to be was never what she actually liked. The final confirmation brought devastating heartbreak. A decade of belief became a huge joke. Seol-jin admitted with her own words that she chose that delinquent. Ji-woong's nice guy persona, all his fantasies of protecting her, vanished into thin ash in an instant. On the other side, the gears of fate were also turning. Shin Jin-cheol coldly calculated how to sell the stolen dragon ring on the street, dreaming of trading it for a motorcycle, brushing off his companion's request for a share. Greed was brewing a bigger storm. Back at school, Ji-woong was on edge because his Kyusang uncle had gone to talk to the teacher. The classroom felt like a pressure cooker. He felt like a prisoner awaiting his sentence. His uncles never failed to let him down, in the most absurd way possible. Kyusang proudly reported talking very well with the teacher, and even threw him a party to congratulate him on becoming a problem student. Ji-woong was completely stunned, but the real lesson had just begun. Uncle Jae-wook snatched the phone, issuing a cold command. If he wanted to turn bad, he had to take the first step by beating up someone weaker. This was a twisted entrance exam from his underworld family. Ji-woong searched the campus with desperate resolve to find his prey, only to face an epic-level failure. He discovered, to his horror, that goddamn everyone seemed stronger than him. Even going to the bathroom, he met a dude whose arm was thicker than his thigh. His mindset completely shattered. With no choice, he turned his gaze to the classmate always tailing him, Sang-gu. In his quest to turn bad, Ji-woong grabbed Sang-gu by the collar, his internal war making him look like a ridiculous bully. At his darkest hour, a bolt of lightning struck him. Since Seol-jin already loved that kind of bad boy, why should he keep pretending? Epiphany. 10 years of disguise crumbled amidst despair. The real Kong Ji-woong was dead. He returned to the classroom, eyes icy cold, aura unleashed. A full-fledged bad man in every sense, instantly intimidating everyone. He personally crushed his 10-year-old weak soul. A new beast was waking up. Seol-jin caught up, questioning him, her eyes full of disappointment and confusion. Ji-woong's heart bled, but he could only respond with coldness. The next moment, in the locker area, he saw it. Those glaring couple slippers. Seol-jin's and Jin Cheol's. With his most sarcastic tone, he threw out a blessing and turned away, his heart like cold ashes. Shin Jin Cheol walked right into the line of fire. Trying to play the hero for Seol-jin, he cornered Ji-woong. Isolated and outnumbered, Ji-woong was about to be jumped. Then, the Real Wolf entered, Song Jong-suk. With effortless dominance, he obliterated Jin Cheol's crew, sending them to the hospital. Jin Cheol's right eye was severely injured, and a seed of pure hatred was violently sown. On the way to the infirmary, Song Jong-suk just casually hauled the injured Ji-woong along, nearly dislocating his shoulder. The strength difference was like adult and infant. Ji-woong felt pain and humiliation, a messy cocktail of emotions. Outside, holding his wounded eye, Shin Jin-cheol swore with his lackeys to destroy Song Jong-suk. He planned to use his connections to play for keeps. This was no longer schoolyard fighting. It was a declaration of war. In the infirmary, Song Jong-suk went straight for a soul interrogation. Why try to hit Sang-gu? Why always help him against Jin Cheol? Ji-woong had no answer, only confusion. Jong-suk dropped a loaded parting shot. This thing is interesting. A foreshadowing was planted. The fight is over. Ma Jin-hai is completely down. A bunch of shaved heads kneel in submission, looking pathetic. But white shirt Kong Ji-woong hesitates. He sees a familiar, desperate loyalty in their plea to spare their leader. A loyalty that suddenly feels heavier than this victory. Ma Jin-hai is out. The Jilin Changyue alliance claims the crown. But the victors have no time to celebrate. The bigger question looms. What now? Meanwhile, The defeated Do Won-hyuk is drenched in shame, a golden Buddha marking his back, a symbol of the brother's trust he just let down. What the hell is going on? With Do Won-hyuk's defeat, it's like some cult switch was flipped. That freaky golden Buddha apparition behind him appears, and the entire schoolyard drops to their knees like zombies, chanting prayers. This isn't a fight anymore. It feels like an exorcism. This is bad. Do Won-hyuk is sweating bullets, kneeling in repentance before a Buddhist statue, while his entire school follows his lead and bows in unison. The whole scene is labeled with two damning words: bad guy. Did Kang Ji-woong win this fight, or did he just wake up a slumbering monster? This is the face of a beaten leader. Do Won-hyuk's men are in tears, not out of fear for themselves, but out of shame for being too weak to help him win. And it's precisely their pathetic loyalty that snaps him back to reality. He's their leader. He can't be the one to crumble first. Oh, getting back up, are we? Do Won-hyuk, barely standing, insists on having a word with Kang Ji-woong. Ji-woong makes it clear. Make it good or get another beating. This fight isn't over. What last words could this broken man possibly have? Bombshell announcement. Park Mang-joon lays down the new rules for the defeated Ma Jin-hai. From now on, you answer to our alliance, especially when we go after Mu Jin-hai. Negotiate? Do Won-hyuk's response is silent kneeling, while his men freak out. This isn't an alliance anymore. It's a takeover. 古明俊这暴脾气直接炸了，分裂的青蛙蛋还敢提条件，但有人拦住了他，说先让他们俩谈谈。江志雄冷静地问：“所以你不打算帮我们联盟？”都元孝低着头，捂着脸，内心的挣扎全写在了紧握的拳头上。他到底有什么苦衷？ Do Won-hyuk bends, but in the worst possible way. He won't ally with them, but he'll send his own core members to serve under Kang Ji-woong as his shields. The air freezes. His loyal men have just one thought. Boss, are you really trading us for your own survival? Things get even weirder. Do Won-hyuk launches into a sermon, talking about desires clouding the mind. He even tears his clothes in a dramatic vow. But to Ji-woong's crew, it all sounds like noise. They whisper, do we even need their help? Nope. Then they're just pathetic. And the Ma Jin boys hear every word. Ji-woong is done with talk. He lays down the final law to the entire Ma Jin-hai. You don't have to help us, but if you dare side with Mu Jin-hai, you're all dead. The students panic. They're trapped between Ji-woong's wrath and the terrifying retaliation of Mu Jin-hai. Both roads lead to disaster. If threats don't work, try terror. Song Jung-suk steps up, weapon ready, his words dripping with menace. Bring weapons, bring 100 men, we don't care. But if you ever cross us, he leaves the rest unsaid, but the chilling intent makes every shaved head shiver. They're truly caught between two fires now. And just like that, Ji-woong pulls a 180. After beating them to a pulp and threatening their lives, he turns around with a smile, hand extended, saying let's get along from now on. Do Won-hyuk manages a cold smirk, but inside he's seething. Beat us up and now wants to shake hands? This bastard is beyond ridiculous. This isn't peace, it's the ultimate humiliation. That handshake changes everything. Do Won-hyuk's men are confused. Are we part of their crew now? In the shadows, Ji-woong's uncle wipes a tear. The young master's leadership is just like the boss's. Meanwhile, Do Won-hyuk's right-hand man is having a breakdown. How does he explain this to their real boss? The scene ends with the two sides staring across an invisible line. A new storm is brewing. Time to celebrate the big win. Park Mang-joon rallies everyone for some non-alcoholic beers, but Song Jung-suk has to get home to his sister. Kim Young-min has plans. Turns out, none of the main players can make it to their own victory party. Spilling the tea, Kang Ji-woong accidentally reveals his movie date with Lee Seok-ji. Park Mang-joon instantly switches to buffalo mode, overflowing with jealousy. Ji-woong panics and tries to flee. Looks like his relationship with Seok-ji has been quietly heating up, and everyone just noticed. Awkwardness overload. Ji-woong and Jung-suk just dip, leaving Myung-joon and Young-min standing there. Myung-joon has to awkwardly invite the rest. You guys come too. They all agree, but it's forced. You can win a fight with pure strength, but navigating teen drama and messy feelings? That's the real boss battle. Meanwhile, on the other romantic front, Park Myung-joon calls Moon Chae-yoon, inviting her to the party and making sure to drop Kang Ji-woong's name. But when he casually adds, but Ji-woong can't come, he's watching a movie with Sia. Chae-yoon's sweet smile hardens into a mask. The longing in her eyes is unmistakable. A first love and a childhood friend, Ji-woong, you've really stepped into a minefield. Just how powerful is Moon Chae-in's allure? Her simple "I'll think about it" about attending the party sends shockwaves. Suddenly, the whole mood shifts. Guys are buzzing, talking about the blonde witch of Chanyuk and her gorgeous friend. The party is no longer about a victory. It's about her. One girl's decision can redraw the entire social battlefield. The sun sets, paths diverge. Park Myung-jun and his boys head off for a wild night. Meanwhile, Kong Ji-woong stands alone in front of the cinema, fidgeting. Am I overdressed? Across town, Lee Seok-ji is probably having the same anxious thought. A simple movie date, but for both of them, it's a nervous, shaky step into something completely new. To become the batter man he envisions, Ji-woong submits to his uncle's intense makeover. Hair, clothes, demeanor, everything's under renovation. Step 1. Lock up the gentle smile he's worn for a decade. But as the makeover hype fades, the wall plastered with his past service awards stares back, planting a seed of doubt. Is this who he's meant to be? Day 1 of the new Ji-woong goes nuclear. Uncle Kai-sang's stormy drip aesthetic is in full effect. Loud streetwear, blindingly gaudy gold chains. He drops into school like a bomb, jaws hitting the floor left and right. But the ultimate test arrives when Soo-jin greets him first. The bad guy code forbids him from initiating contact, leaving him stammering and utterly flustered. Awkward level, maximum. Socially crucified by his makeover and strict rules, Ji-woong shrinks into a lonely corner of the classroom. Soo-jin, sensing his distress, invites him to the school store. But his repressed feelings erupt. You were the one who changed first, he retorts with bitter pain. Then he drops the ultimate emotional bomb. 10 years ago, a single word from you changed my life. Now my life is changing again because of you. He leaves her reeling in shock. Time to walk the talk. Ji-woong nervously takes his first rebellious step, ditching class. Spotting 2 classmates sneaking out for ramen, he takes the chance to learn from real bad students. He's like a rookie secret agent clumsily tailing his first target. His target? None other than Shin Jin-shul and a girl. Hiding in the shadows, Ji-woong watches as Jin-shul tries to drag the girl home. She resists. They argue in the street. Ji-woong's brain screams bullying. He grabs a stone, fueled by righteous anger, and hurls it at the jerk Jin-shul, but his aim is off. Crack. The stone hits the girl square in the forehead. Burikao serapts. Time jump. Shin Jin-shul, healed and furious, is plotting his revenge. He gathers his lackeys, vowing to call upon the ultimate school gang alliance, the unruly and unhinged league. Meanwhile, the man who sparked this storm, Ji-woong, has another encounter, this time with a girl named Lee Soo-ji. Soo-ji, flustered, buys Ji-woong the wrong drink. In this tender, awkward moment, she unveils the city's dark student underworld, the top dogs of every school, including the formidable Song Young-suk, and her own brother, the league's leader, Lee Do-bak. Hearing this, the last of Ji-woong's confusion vanishes, replaced by a cold glint. He declares to Soo-ji, I'm going to smash every last bad guy in front of me. He's aiming to be worse than the league's worst. Meanwhile, a plot brews within the school gymnasium. Student Council President Hwang Dae-hwang secretly meets with Lee Do-bak. He points to Ji-woong, the storm's eye, his words dripping with calculation. Do-bak, the league's puppet master, just smiles faintly. Interesting, he remarks. Beneath the peaceful campus surface, undercurrents are churning. On the rooftop, Shin Jin-shul puts on an Oscar-worthy performance for Lee Do-bak. He spins a tale of being gang-beaten by a dozen burly gangsters. He begs Do-bak to handle Young-suk while he handles the mob. This flimsy lie works? The deal is struck. They plot to lure Young-suk to the gym under the guise of a one-on-one duel and jump him. Jin-shul leaves with a grin that could split his face. The trap is set. More terrifyingly, Do-bak promptly calls a league meeting, issuing the order to take down Song Young-suk. The hunt for the strongest warrior is on, but the storm winds blow further. During a late-night meeting, the family's sharp enforcer, Yang Jae-wook, drops a bombshell. The thug who attacked Ji-woong might be from inside their own organization. The clue? A scar-faced man who called him Young Master. Panic explodes in the room. Before the traitor's shadow fades, a new enemy comes into focus. To counter the league, Uncle Kai-sang reveals a secret past. He was the first leader of the legendary team that preceded the league. He bestows upon Ji-woong the honor of destroying that memory. At this grim moment, Ji-woong's phone rings. The caller? Lee Do-bak himself. As they plot the league's downfall, Do-bak's sister, Soo-ji, is at home, her heart fluttering over Ji-woong's upcoming visit. Little does she know, her brother bursts in with Operation Brown Bear Wife. He plans to use a potential romance between her and Ji-woong as a strategic marriage to climb the family ladder. Poor Soo-ji has become a pawn in his power game. Fast forward. Ji-woong and Young-suk receive a mysterious party invitation to Binson Apartment 201. Suspecting a trap, Young-suk grabs a baseball bat. The elevator climbs, hearts pounding. They nervously press the mysterious doorbell. The door opens. Standing there is none other than Moon Chae-yoon, who is supposedly at tutoring. Both Ji-woong and Young-suk are frozen in shock, their worlds colliding in this unexpected face-off. The reveal. This is actually the secret base of Park Myung-joon, the top dog of Chongyuk High. He's throwing a party to celebrate Ji-woong's rise at Jiran High. Here, Ji-woong's secret identity is laid bare before Chae-yoon. The air is thick with shock and awkward tension. Seizing the moment, Park Myung-joon makes his pitch. Team up, take down the unruly and unhinged league, and rule the district. He suggests starting with the weakest school, Maejin High. Ji-woong and Young-suk head to the roof to deliberate. Weighing risk against reward, they make their decision, a nod of agreement. Back inside, in front of everyone, Ji-woong and Park Myung-joon shake hands. A solid, alliance-forging grip. The anti-league alliance is officially formed. Young-suk leaves first. But as Ji-woong is about to follow, Chae-yoon, who has watched in silence, calls out to him. A new kind of storm may just be brewing. Bonus scene, timeline rewind. Chae-yoon finds a distraught Ji-woong after the Soo-ji incident. Her soft words gently place all the blame on Soo-ji. Her comforting presence, like a slow-acting poison, erodes his resolve and fans the flames of his misunderstanding and anger toward Soo-ji. On the street, Shin Jae-chul is relentlessly trying to take Lee Yesel home. Watching from the shadows, Ji-woong's anger hits boiling point. Thinking he's seeing bullying, he grabs a rock, ready to chuck it at the scumbag. But fate has a cruel joke for him. His aim is so off, it's unbelievable. The rock doesn't hit Shin. Instead, it whistles past and connects with Yesel's forehead. Everything explodes into chaos. Panic. Utter panic. In a flurry, Ji-woong throws another rock. This one hits its mark. It stings Shin Jae-chul into a furious dance. But Ji-woong isn't sticking around. He grabs the injured Yesel and launches into a desperate, high-speed urban escape. They finally crash onto a park bench. Looking at the cut on Yesel's forehead, Ji-woong is flooded with regret. He clumsily applies a band-aid. But when he gives his name, Yesel's eyes nearly pop out of her head. You're that annoying Kong Ji-woong. Here's the irony. Ji-woong desperately tries to prove he's a bad guy, admitting he stalked her and threw rocks. Yesel listens, pauses for 3 full seconds, then looks at him seriously. You're actually kind of good person. A compliment about his goodness? Ji-woong freezes into a statue of pure shock. Then, Shin Jae-chul's incessant calls start buzzing. Ji-woong panics, begging Yesel not to give him up. But to his shock, Yesel picks up and transforms into a verbal flamethrower. She tears Shin a new one over the phone, then hangs up with an air of finality. On the other end, Shin, who just got hit by a rock and berated, is completely unhinged with fury. Back in the school cafeteria, Ji-woong confesses his obsession for the first time. He must become a bad man. And his first target? Shin Jae-chul. But just as he finishes his declaration, Yesel casually sits down across from him with her tray. Oh no, his grand plan just hit a roadblock, with the main witness sitting right in front of him. Meanwhile, Shin Jae-chul's revenge plot is accelerating. Seeking real firepower, he finds the school's true heavy hitter, Lee Du-bok. He spins a wild lie, claiming Ji-woong brought in a dozen gangsters to beat him. Then he begs Du-bok to join forces against their next target, Song Jong-suk, a lie to wield a borrowed blade. Convinced his plan is brilliant, Shin leaves, beaming with triumph. Once he's gone, Lee Du-bok gathers his crew and, with a chilling smirk, lays out tomorrow's hunt. Noon tomorrow. The gymnasium. Let's teach Song Jong-suk a lesson. The fuse for a bloody mess is officially lit. Amidst the chaos, there's also warmth. Ji-woong's best friend, Jong-yoon, who despises gangs, confronts him. He's devastated by the decade-long lie. In a raw and painful conversation, he struggles but ultimately chooses to understand. Two boys reconcile in the cold wind. Some friendships can cut through the fog of identity. But the gears of fate are spinning faster. As Ji-woong trains with his family, he uncovers more secrets. The notorious student gang alliance, the incomprehensibly unruly league, was actually founded by none other than his bald uncle, Gaisang. The real threat, however, lurks within. The family strategist, Yang Jae-wook, pieces together a grim truth. The force that attacked Ji-woong likely wasn't an external enemy, but a traitor inside the Brown Bears. The enemy's fangs might be hidden in the most trusted shadows. The struggle has just escalated from schoolyard brawls to full-blown gang war. Ji-woong decides to take the offensive. With ally Jong-suk and intel provider Yesel, he heads straight for the heart of the league, Park Myong-jun, the boss of Chongyuk High. On the way, a bold underling tries to block him. Ji-woong doesn't even throw a punch. He just crushes the guy's hand in a handshake, shattering his confidence instantly. Yet, fate has a way of throwing curveballs. At Chongyuk High, Ji-woong meets a seemingly perfect girl, model student Mun Chae-yoon. She's sharp, assertive, and sees right through his facade. In an empty hallway, Chae-yoon gently stops Ji-woong. She asks him to keep her good girl identity a secret. Then she steps closer, delivers a line that makes his heart stutter. Next time, I want to meet the real Kong Ji-woong. And with that, she places a soft kiss on his cheek. Ji-woong's world tilts on its axis from that single kiss. His face burns bright red, and he practically trips over himself to flee. But a new piece of evidence follows him: the smell of smoke and alcohol on his clothes. The moment he arrives home, his overzealous uncles swarm him. Sniffing around, they mistake him for a newly hardened gangster, finally embracing his bad boy destiny. Gaisang is practically weeping with pride, while Jian-ho is ready to set off the celebratory fireworks. The celebration is in full, chaotic swing, until Gaisang gets suspicious and presses about the smoke smell. Under their expectant gazes, Ji-woong cringes and confesses in a tiny voice, I just inhaled some secondhand smoke." The room falls silent. The uncles freeze. The triumphant mood shatters, replaced by a bizarre, collective grief over their young master's contaminated body. This grand plan's opening act concludes not with a bang, but a comedic anticlimactic whimper. So he officially declared war. In the cafeteria, Kong Ji-hoon announced to everyone around him, "I have a goddamn reason to become a bad guy." First on the list, wipe out Shin Kyung-chul. But just as he dropped this bomb, Lee Yi-ji, the most formidable girl he knows, casually sits down next to him. The guy who was radiating intimidation a second ago is now sweating bullets, practically choking on his chopsticks. Still got a lot to learn about being a bad guy. But the real crisis strikes without warning. On his way to the teacher's office, he looks down at his hand, and his blood runs cold. This soul ring, the symbol of his family's power, is gone. Panicking, he tears apart the classroom looking for it, only to run headfirst into the last person he wants to see, Shin Kyung-chul. Game over. This is a disaster. Shin Kyung-chul, looking for any excuse, wastes no time. A kick, then another. Ji-hoon is slammed to the floor, stomped on like trash. The humiliation is absolute. He hasn't even laid a finger on his target, and already he's groveling in the dirt. And all of it is witnessed by Lee Yi-ji, who just arrived. Wait, is that? Lying on the floor, vision swimming, his gaze locks onto something. The cold rage that ignites inside him is nuclear. On Shin Kyung-chul's gloating hand, shining, mocking him, is his missing emerald soul ring, his family's symbol, stolen and paraded by his enemy. This isn't just humiliation anymore. This is an act of war, a level of disgrace that demands blood. Yi-ji steps in to stop the beating, and Song Jong-suk appears to help. But Ji-hoon's mind is a white-hot void of shame and fury. He shoves everyone away and runs off alone. Help? Pity? All he can see is the hand wearing his ring. All he can think about is tearing it off Shin Kyung-chul's body. Revenge. Now. But before revenge, he faces an even harder battleground: friendship. In the hallway, his old friend Jong-yoon finds him. No shouting, just eyes full of disappointment and confusion. 10 years, Ji-hoon. You hid this for 10 years. Yet, in the end, the flicker of understanding he sees there gives the battered Ji-hoon a moment to breathe. This fragile truce is a fragile lifeline in the dark. The brief warmth is shattered by cold reality. As he leaves school with his friends, Uncle Jae-wook is waiting at his gate with a grim message. "Young master, no school tomorrow. Special training starts now." His friends say stunned goodbyes. His life as a normal student is officially over. Meanwhile, in a dark corner, Shin Kyung-chul's lackeys are smirking. They've spotted a lone target, Song Jong-suk. The gears of a trap begin to turn. He returns from his training a different beast. Walking to school flanked by his uncles, he practices his most intimidating glare. Joined by Jong-suk and Seoji, the first fool to test them, league member Lee Won-ik learns the hard way that Ji-hoon doesn't even need to throw a punch. One crushing handshake brings him to his knees. A little warm-up. Ji-hoon decides it's time to go straight to the top. He walks right into the lion's den, the basketball court of Chanyeol High. He meets Park Myong-jun, who carries himself less like a thug and more like a schemer. Myong-jun cuts to the chase. No fight, just an offer. An alliance to take down the current league leader. Ji-hoon sees the game being played, but for now, an enemy's enemy is an asset. A verbal pact is struck. A step forward into a much more complicated and treacherous board. But the life of a mob heir is full of bizarre interruptions. His uncle, Ki-sang, has a bloodhound's nose and instantly detects a hint of smoke on Ji-hoon. Under their intense interrogation, a terrified Ji-hoon finally confesses it was secondhand smoke. The reaction from these hardened gangsters? They erupt into a collective, tearful mourning for his corrupted body, immediately followed by a bizarre celebration that he resisted the nicotine's lure. This is the training for a ruthless heir. Alone in the quiet of his room, the bravado and scheming of the day fade, replaced by a different kind of restlessness. He fiddles with his phone, replaying a lingering glance with another girl, Moon Chae-yoon. Then the phone rings. It's Lee Yi-ji. Her voice is calm, but each question is a precision strike. Why aren't you replying? What's with this alliance? The sweet memory he was just savoring instantly sours into a ticking bomb. He grits his teeth and explains the Chanyeol alliance. When Yi-ji casually asks who else is involved, the name slips out. Moon Chae-yoon. The line goes silent. You could smell the jealousy through the phone. Yi-ji remains calm, coolly offering to gather intel on their rivals. But the moment she hangs up, she buries her face in her pillow, tormented by a confusing, angry fire. Off the battlefield of fists and alliances, the battlefield of the heart is already raging in its own messy, unpredictable war. The scene shifts back into deeper shadows. Ki-sang paces the gym, frustrated. The shadowy hand behind the attack on Ji-hoon remains hidden. He pivots, deciding to trace the one loose thread, the two girls who escaped from the factory trap. A ridiculous idea is proposed. Use their sharp-nosed bear cub, Il Bear, as a bloodhound. It sounds like a joke, but in their world, sometimes the most primitive methods are the most effective. The starting point for this hunt is a place more controlled than any gym. The scene cuts to a prison visitation room. On the other side of the glass sits a familiar face in a drab uniform. Shin Kyung-chul, aka Octopus Balls, looking hollowed out. Ki-sang isn't here for pleasantries. He's here to dig for the first, crucial piece of evidence, something buried deep enough to crack the whole conspiracy open. The real hunt is about to begin. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Ji-hoon faces comedy turn crisis. Several of his uncles are caught in the middle of some suspiciously sneaky activity. A single voice, "Stop what you're doing," freezes the entire group. The fear is real. If all the uncles are in the house, then how the hell did the woman calling herself Auntie get in? This house isn't a sanctuary anymore. It's the first, confusing, and dangerous battlefield. At the root of all this danger and calculation lies an old childhood wound. A memory surfaces, his mother holding his hand on the beach, her voice gentle, pleading, "Ji-hoon, I want you to be a good person, not like your father." That wish was the fuel for his decade-long charade of being a good guy. And now, with it all shattered, it's the deepest void in his soul. His mother's dream is pulling him in one direction. The path he's chosen now, into darkness, pulls him in the exact opposite direction. The memories flood him, raw and painful. His parents fighting violently, his father smashing an ashtray, screaming that being a gangster affords them this lavish life. His mother's despairing tears, his father's twisted love and cold threats. The scene shifts to a heartbreaking image. His mother bending down in the middle of the night to kiss her sleeping son, whispering through tears, "I'm sorry, Ji-hoon. When I have the strength." Cut to the next morning, an empty shoe rack and the crushing realization she is never coming back. This, right here, is the primal wound. The days of waiting for his mother were torture. A small boy, sitting by the door, day after day, night after night. Countless times he imagined her opening that door. Countless times, it was only his father's cold dismissal. "Stop looking. She's not coming back." He refused to believe it, clinging to a final shred of hope. The pair of pink shoes she loved most in the world, still in the shoe rack. She hadn't even taken those. At that moment, the little boy smiled. He thought that was proof. Proof she had to come back. But fate had one more cruel joke to play. The doorbell rings again one evening. He flies to the door, screaming "MOM." What greets him is the sheepish, embarrassed face of Uncle Jae-wook. That's the moment his tiny heart finally broke in two. After that, parade of new mothers his father brought home. When classmates mocked him, "So you really don't have a mom?" He could even smile and say, "Actually, I have lots of moms." layer upon layer of lies and masks, carefully constructed around the shattered, waiting child inside. A decade of disguise, awakened in a single, shattering moment. From the top student pretending to have many mothers, to reluctantly accepting a kind stranger as a new mom. From being a good guy for his mother's sake, to choosing to be bad for a lost love. Kang Ji-hoon's life is one giant paradox. And now, he stands at that paradox's final crossroads. His ring is stolen, his allies dubious, his friends scarred, his heart in turmoil. As he adjusts his tie one last time, just like the good boy from 10 years ago, the sight of that strange woman's pink shoes in the rack stabs him once more. He knows it's time. Time to bury that good guy with his own two hands. The path ahead now is paved with nothing but blood and fire. Look, the gangster heir Kang Ji-hoon is still helping an old lady. Smiling on the outside, but inside he's wondering, I have a mother now? This belated warmth makes him think he can make peace with the kind person he used to be. He can't hold it in anymore and excitedly tells the old lady, I have a mother now. This shout releases all his suppressed longing for a normal family. He feels like his life could become ordinary too. But this sweet taste is fleeting, warm and fuzzy. The next second, he's terrified by a phone call from home. His new mom says, I'm dying. Panicked, he rushes back home without thinking. What do you think he finds? Pushing the door open, he's stunned. His new mom is wearing a wig? What's this bizarre cosplay scene? She panics too, quickly explaining. It's a misunderstanding. But this is just the calm before the storm. His new mom confesses she wore the wig to resemble his late mother, hoping he'd accept her faster. This desperate plea doesn't move him. It completely breaks him. He screams, You're just like everyone else, shattering her heart, and rushes out. After cooling down, he regrets it. Yeah, she endured the heat for his sake. His words were indeed too harsh. The kindness deep in Kang Ji-hoon's core makes him decide to go home and apologize. Is this the start of reconciliation? He apologizes sincerely. His new mom cries tears of joy, and they hug tightly. At this moment, it feels so warm. But you know what? This warm embrace came at the cost of a phone call. Right outside the door, she accidentally overheard the call that would decide Kang Ji-hoon's fate. The phone call instantly switches her from touched mode to calculation mode. Uncle Yang Ji-wook, the family's guardian, is pleading with senior gang members. Ji-hoon is just a middle schooler. Give him more time. The subtext? Kang Ji-hoon's position as heir is unstable. His new mom's mindset explodes. She's worked so hard to be a good stepmom, and he might not even become boss. That would make him just a useless brat. She needs a new plan. So, when Kang Ji-hoon comes home smiling, she thinks he's putting on a brave face after being beaten up. The mask of warmth is ripped off. His new mom grabs Kang Ji-hoon and shoves him onto the couch. Listen well. You are Kang Han-kook's son. You must inherit Brown Bear Gang. All the past talk of be yourself was an illusion. Now, she only wants to shape him into a qualified heir. Kang Ji-hoon refuses in pain. I just want to do what I want. His new mom sneers. What, mother? Are you dreaming? She shifts gears, revealing her true colors. It's fine if you hit others, but you must never, ever be hit. This is lesson 1 for Kang Ji-hoon. Dominate. The final ultimatum arrives. She directly insults his cherished late mother. That woman abandoned you long ago. Forget her. This word touches Kang Ji-hoon's deepest wound. He reaches his limit, his eyes instantly turning vicious. The conflict explodes. Rage devours reason. Kang Ji-hoon pushes his stepmother aside and rushes to grab something. Not a weapon, but what he does next is even more brutal than fighting. She screams in terror. This house can no longer hold the pretense of harmony. What he grabs is an old shoe left by his late mother. It's his last link to the past. Her words are too venomous. Start a new life with that woman? Tears in his eyes, Kang Ji-hoon turns and bolts for the door. He's fleeing this home built on lies and insults. In the pouring rain, he rushes into the desolate street. How dare you tell me to forget Mom? Rain mixes with tears, indistinguishable. The good guy Kang Ji-hoon, who tried to be kind for 10 years, is being torn apart by his family and fate, piece by piece. But he can't run far. There's one last thing he has to retrieve. On a park bench in the rain, he's as lonely as a stray dog. Longing gnaws at him like a venomous snake. He has to admit his new mom really did try. Guilt calms him down, and he decides to go back and apologize. But Kang Ji-hoon doesn't know that an even colder, more practical gift awaits him. Returning home, he finds the shoe cabinet tidy, but his heart drops. His late mother's most important keepsake, those old shoes, are missing. He immediately questions the butler, but gets the answer: no one touched it. Unease instantly tightens around his heart. In the kitchen, his new mom says casually, "Those old shoes? I threw them away." These words are like an ice pick, stabbing straight into Kang Jae-hoon's chest. His pupils shake behind his glasses. Where? His voice trembles. His new mom looks innocent, even annoyed. Just toss them out the door. Maybe they're still on the roadside. But a cold, calculating glint flashes in her eyes. Kang Jae-hoon understands. This isn't a mistake. It's a warning, a message. Your weakness, I can destroy anytime. Kang Jae-hoon doesn't say a word, turning and rushing back out the door. He must find those shoes. And this time, the family's uncles are pinned down by her threat. If you follow him, I'll tell Han Cook. Kang Jae-hoon feels a chilling realization for the first time. In the end, he's still all alone. Day one of being bad. The old Ji-hoon, the one who couldn't turn away from those in need, forces himself to walk past an elderly person struggling with a box. His knuckles are white with restraint. That first betrayal of his own nature leaves a cold, hollow pit where his conscience used to be. He stumbles through the streets, a clumsy apprentice in crime, jaywalking, failing to spit like the cool guys. It's pathetic. And then, the gut punch. There she is, the reason for it all, walking arm in arm with the very scumbag he's trying to be. Jealousy sinks its fangs in deep. The gym is a trap, and they've walked right in. Jin Cheol gloats, surrounded by the elite of the unconscious alliance. He gives the order to attack, but no one moves. The triumphant smirk on his face cracks, replaced by cold, dawning horror. Is everyone here? The question cuts through the silence. From the shadows, Ji-hoon emerges. With that single line, he reveals the truth. The trap wasn't for Song Jong-suk. It was always for Shin Jin-cheol. The predator just became the prey. A duel? No, this is an execution. A decade of suppressed power explodes from Ji-hoon's fists. Jin-cheol is a ragdoll, bones cracking under the onslaught. He fumbles for a knife, only for the bald uncle to snatch it away with a cold, no weapons. The beatdown is pure, brutal poetry. Who's the bigger badass now? Ji-hoon roars over Jin-cheol's broken body, but his eyes are hollow. As the adrenaline fades, a crushing emptiness washes over him. He won. So why does it feel like he's lost himself? Time for strategy. In the classroom, Lee Cog, the queen of intel, offers a private briefing. She holds the keys to the unconscious alliance. A cold glint returns to Ji-hoon's eyes. The hunt for the next target begins. Cog's home becomes a war room. Maps and names cover the floor. Kang Eun-ho, the basketball court terror. Target number 1. Ma Jin-hai, the weakest link. Ji-hoon is evolving, from street fighter to campus conqueror. Date night interrupted. An uncle's text ordering him home cuts their strategy session short. Back at home, Cog buzzes with excitement for their study date. Meanwhile, her brother Lee Do-bok fumes on a rooftop, his grand bare wife project sabotaged by his own sister's text. The family drama is real. Elsewhere, a bizarre training montage. Uncle Gai-sang uses salmon to turn Ji-hoon's pet bear cub Yi-woon into a tracking hound. Man and bear tear through the streets in a hilarious gangster pet adventure. They find one pink slipper, but the trail goes cold. Gai-sang makes a call. Time for deep woods survival training. Back at school, Jong-yoon wilts with jealousy over Ji-hoon and Chae-yoon. Ji-hoon, sporting a new haircut, drops a bombshell invitation on Jong-suk's sister and Hae-ji. Come to my place, I have a bear. A bear? Smooth, Yi-hoon. Real smooth. Rooftop interrogation. Yi-yi. Coordinates, Yi-hoon. How exactly did you form that alliance? She demands. Guilty over their first kiss, Ji-hoon deflects with Olympic-level skill. Just as he's about to crack, he deploys the ultimate distraction. My house. Has a bear. Crisis averted for now. The grand bear viewing expedition is a go. The whole crew assembles, only for Jeon-ho to drop the bombshell. Yi-woon? Oh, Gai-sang took him to the mountains for wildness training. Won't be back for a while. Cue the collective, soul-crushing silence. The bear is officially a no-show. The true storm is always at home. Exhausted, Ji-hoon returns, seeking solace in his mother's memory. But the one thing left of her, her old shoes, is gone. I threw them out, his stepmother says casually. The words are an ice pick to his heart. With his father absent, the house has never felt colder. He tears through the city, a madman searching dumpsters for a ghost. Nothing. Returning empty-handed, his stepmother delivers the final blow. No wonder you'll never be the heir. The dam breaks. Get out, he roars, the pain of a lifetime erupting. For once, the heir title means nothing. Family wounds need family to heal. Uncle Jae-wook, the hardened enforcer, takes him for a walk. We were all orphans, he admits, voice thick. We didn't want you to be alone. The raw honesty thaws the ice. Yon Siga, smiling fine thud. Who says I'm alone? I have all my uncles. His real armor isn't the gang. It's their rough, clumsy love. On another front, the stakes are rising. At Mujin High, the infamous Huang Daehuang overhears students bragging about how Ji-hoon destroyed Du Won-hyo. A sinister, predatory glint enters his eyes. Yet another apex predator has caught the scent of our bad boy in over his head. The real storm is just gathering. Trying to go bad? It's not that easy. Kang Ji-woon clumsily jaywalks and mimics spitting, looking like a fool. But just as he's messing around, his world shatters. Across the street, Han Soo-jin is walking and laughing with that very person he hates the most, Shin Jiang-cheol. Jealousy gnaws at his heart like a viper. Ji-woon hides in the alley, watching Soo-jin and Jiang-cheol's intimacy, agonized. Just then, he spots some seniors bullying a freshman. That pin-up rage finally finds a twisted outlet. Mimicking what he thinks a bad guy should act like, Ji-woon steps forward, shoving the bullies away with forced ferocity. Hand over the money. To his surprise, it works. He scares them off, extorts money, and even accidentally saves the victim. His first taste of evil feels strange. Little does he know, all of this is witnessed by his guardian, Uncle Chi-sang. This bald, tough-as-nails gangster is brought to tears on the spot. Because the line Ji-woon used, hand over the money, was the very first underworld phrase he taught the young master years ago. The heir is finally awakening. After the deed comes the consequence. Ji-woon's abnormal behavior draws teacher attention, demanding a parent meeting. The news reaches the Brown Bear gang. Suddenly, these hardened gangsters who wouldn't blink at violence are huddled in a meeting room, having a rock-paper-scissors contest to decide who gets the honor of attending the school meeting. Time jump post-bloodbath. In the center of the gymnasium, Shin Jiang-cheol lies broken like a dead dog. Kang Ji-woon, a blood-soaked Azura, pins him down. Every punch carries a decade of pretense, a shattered heart, and maddening jealousy. Jiang Si Chi-uel. Desperate, Jiang-cheol pulls out a hidden knife. But before the blade fully gleams, slap. A hand like an iron vice clamps his wrist. A cold voice echoes. Kid, weapons are forbidden. It's Uncle Chi-sang, standing beside Lee Du-bok, expressionless, yet radiating an aura that dominates the whole scene. Weapon gone, will broken. Jiang-cheol becomes a human punching bag, beaten unconscious in front of the entire school. Ji-woon grabs his hair, screaming into that bloody mess. Now who's the worst man? Tell me. He's won. Completely, utterly won. But the moment of victory is swallowed by a crushing void. Looking at the unconscious Jiang-cheol, he feels no joy, only a bone-chilling cold. Did I really become a bad person? Song Jong-suk pulls him away, a complex look in his eyes. But Uncle Chi-sang grins wide. Young master, you did well. A moment of calm. After helping Ji-woon with game training, Lee Seok-ji sees him off as he gets a sudden text. Please come home early. He leaves in a hurry, promising to call tonight. Seok-ji acts cool, but her heart is racing. The moment her brother leaves, she dives into frantic preparation for the phone date. Her closet is turned upside down. Meanwhile, her brother Lee Du-bok is on the rooftop, zealously plotting his brown madam plan with his subordinates. Suddenly, his phone buzzes, a threatening text from his sister. Appa, come home later. Du-bok deflates like a pop balloon on the spot. For the sake of the long-term grand scheme, he'll endure it. Being this kind of brother is both tragic and hilarious. On her way home, Seok-ji's girl squad corners her, sneering, asking why she's hanging out with Ji-woon's inferior crowd and distancing from them. Seok-ji's expression turns colder with each biting word. Finally, she just says, I have plans with someone, and walks away, cleanly severing that hollow friendship. For him, it's worth it. Ji-woon returns home to a tense atmosphere. Someone is sitting on the sofa. His father, Kong Han-guk, head of the Brown Bear gang. His father, wearing a rare look of approval, praises his achievements in dealing with Jiang-cheol and formally presents him with a custom-made dagger engraved with Kang Ji-woon. Take it. You are my sole heir. The heavy shackles of the family are officially locked in place. The moment his father leaves, undercurrents surge. Another uncle, C1, bows respectfully on the surface, but his eyes hold venomous hatred. He glares at the back of Uncle Yang Jae-wook, the one truly gaining power, gritting his teeth. Yang Jae-wook, I will never let you have it easy. The bloody scent of internal power struggle within the family is already in the air. War moments are always fleeting. Ji-woon, Yi-ji, Jong-suk, and his sister Doon excitedly head home to see the bear cub, Aelong. But Uncle Jeon-ho delivers the news. Uncle Chi Sang has taken Ielung to Fire Bear Mountain for wildness training and won't be back anytime soon. Their hopes deflate, leaving everyone disappointed. On Fire Bear Mountain, Chi Sang leads the cub Ielung to the secret cave where he once trained a young Jiwoon. Leaving the darkness-fearing cub in the relatively safe cave, he, just like back then, turns and heads into the forest to find food. Time seems to rewind. Only now the young master he trained is the heir who shakes the school. But the mountains have changed. Chi Sang hasn't gone far when he comes face to face with a massive wild boar. His pupils constrict. He recognizes this beast. It's the very one he fought and spared years ago to protect the young Jiwoon. Now grown monstrously large and with offspring in tow, it's clearly back for revenge. To keep the cub Ielung in the cave safe, Chi Sang makes a split-second decision. He taunts the vengeful beast, luring the furious boar deeper into the mountains. A fated showdown between man and beast, past and present, erupts under Fire Bear Mountain's night sky. Young master, see? Even this mountain forces us to grow stronger. Note, transition to other content, back at school. Rumors about Kong Jiwoon beating up Du Wonhyo begin to circulate in some circles. Two clueless punks are laughing their heads off about it, but they fail to notice a hulking figure slowly turning in the shadows. Jiyoung just declared war on the entire Mujijinchang alliance and became campus legend. But as his enemies walk away, all he feels is emptiness. Victory has no joy left in it. What's worse, Song Jung-suk hits him with the truth. You wanted to be a bad guy, didn't you? Now you are one. So what's there to question? The words cut deeper than any blade, leaving him breathless with doubt. Amidst his confusion, his family's celebration arrives. His father, overjoyed at Jiyoung becoming the school's top dog, throws a lavish mafia-style party. Without a second thought, he forces alcohol on his underage son, a brutal coming-of-age ritual. His father is beaming, plotting how to spread the word of the young master's rise. But in a corner, tensions are already simmering. Between cadres Yang Jo-wook and Lee Si-won, a single glance speaks volumes. The seeds of an internal power struggle are already sown. To gather intel on the alliance, Jiyoung has to work overtime. He sneaks out to meet Lee Seo-jin for a private info session. At her place, the atmosphere is surprisingly light, a rare, fleeting moment of warmth in his brutal new life. Meanwhile, Uncle Ki-sang is facing a life-or-death trial of his own. Deep in the mountains, he encounters an old enemy, a wild boar he once spared. Years later, it's returned, grown into a monstrous beast with her young, seeking vengeance. The boar goes berserk. It slams into Ki-sang with terrifying force, sending him flying. He's tough, but against this raging beast, the sound of cracking bones marks the moment hope begins to fade. As the boar's tusks close in on his throat, a furious roar pierces the chaos. Ielung, the rescued bear cub they raised, overcomes all fear and charges out like a cannonball, sinking its teeth into the beast. This is no longer man protecting animal, but animal protecting man. Ielung's primal instincts erupt, and together with Ki-sang, they fight back-to-back, driving the monster into retreat. After the fight, Ki-sang crafts the boar's tusk into a necklace for Ielung. You finally found your wild heart, kid. It's a brutal yet heartwarming tale of redemption. Back at school, however, a different kind of hunt is about to begin. Undercurrents swirl. A girl secretly notes down intel on the runaway group, hoping to help Jiyoung. At the school gate, Sang-gu is happily treating everyone to rice cakes, but Jiyoung is absent. He's been hijacked by Jung-suk for extra training. His unusual absence is drawing the wrong kind of attention. Among those noticing him are the girls with a grudge against Seo-jin. Huddled by a food stall, they pull down their caps, eyes sharp as knives. We need to corner her when she's alone. That Lee Yura, she has no friends at Juron besides Jiyoung and Jung-suk. Malice is gathering, targeting those closest to him. Speak of the devil. Sang-gu and his friends just walked up to the neighboring food stall. The blonde girl freezes. Hey, duck. They're Ji-young's friends. Unaware of the danger, these unfortunate souls have just become pawns on a new, dangerous board. Sang-gu and the others laugh about how pointless Ji-young's training must be, unaware of the ears listening nearby. But on a different front, student president Hwang Dae-hyung receives a call that chills him to the bone. The caller ID flashes Brother Chanwoo, a name that carries the stench of hell itself. A cold, warning voice on the line orders him to the usual meeting place immediately. Hwang's face turns pale. He abandons all plans, even his beloved instant noodles, and flees. A shadow, far more immense than he ever imagined, has already touched his life. Back at school, cracks form between old friends because of Ji-young. Some blame him for abandoning them, leaving Young-woon stuck in the middle, unable to defend himself. But then, Moon Chae-yoon appears like a ray of sunshine, momentarily brightening the gloom at their table. But the shiniest gatherings often hide the darkest schemes. As Moon Chae-yoon smiles and invites Sang-goo's group to join her, the girls plotting against Seo-jin watch coldly from a distance. The prey and the bait are now in place, and the real storm hasn't even begun. Meanwhile, in the gym, the sound of flesh on flesh echoes. Ji-young trains, pouring out a fate forced upon him. He doesn't know it yet, but a massive web woven from familial ties, broken friendships, schoolyard bullying, and underworld conflict is descending upon him and everyone he cares about. There's no escape from this game now. Ji-young wants to be a worse man to protect those he holds dear. But he doesn't see that when you stare into the abyss, it has already prepared a bigger whirlpool for you. The gears of fate for everyone involved are now spinning at a terrifying speed. All right, watch and learn, young master. A real man walks like he owns the street. Spits like he doesn't give a damn. That soul ring. It should be glowing on your finger, right? Spit out. Did you lose it? That's a lie. The ring's definitely not at home. The young master flinched. Someone in this school messed with something they shouldn't have. Someone's about to be in deep trouble. Teacher's office? Now that your Uncle Ki-sung is here, consider it the lion's den. Teacher, my nephew, Jaewon, is indeed a problem. What's the problem? He's too honest. And honesty makes one a target. Who's targeting him? Shin Jaeong-cheol. Where is he? Let's not spook him yet. But dig up every connection Jaewon has with those thugs. Especially where that missing ring went. Cut. And what do we see here? Shin Jaeong-cheol, the idiot, is busy showing off that emerald ring to his loser friends. We're rich, baby. Sell it and chase skirts. He has no idea he's just put an invisible noose around his own neck. Meanwhile, the Brown Bear gang is throwing a rager. Boss Kong Hanguk himself is celebrating the young master's ascension. Top dog of the whole school? Now that's more like it. Here, son. Bottoms up. Congratulations. You're a man now. But in the corner of this celebration, the undercurrents are shifting. Lieutenants Yang Jae-wook and Lee Si-won, all smiles on the surface, but tension thick enough to cut. The power pie is too small for two hungry wolves. After the drinks on the rooftop, his father has the final piece of the manhood ritual. Burn them. All those best citizen awards from your 10 years of being a nice guy. Every last one of them. A decade of acting, gone up in flames in one night. The firelight dances in Jaewon's tears. He's throwing his decade of disguise, his fixation, and all his dreams about Seo-jin into that bonfire himself. Turn back. There's no way out anymore. And just when he's at his lowest, his phone rings. It's not Seo-jin. It's Lee Seo-jin. Fate, after slamming one door shut, quietly cracks open another. Sneaking out for a late-night study session. Even got a fancy new jacket. TSK. Young master, your Uncle Ki-sung sees all. Proper attire, report your whereabouts. Those are the rules. The very next day, Jo Eun-ho, the number 2 guy at Jilin High, is waiting for Jaewon at the basketball court. He thinks this new top dog will be an easy piece to recruit into his little clique. He is so wrong. Jaewon is still smugly proud of his new bad boy ability to spit. Song Jung-suk just shakes his head. They walk toward the designated court, surrounded by the stares of spectators and fearful glares. Jo Eun-ho makes his pitch, wants to be partners. Jaewon smirks coldly. Cut the act. You're just a mad dog living in Lee Do-baek's shadow. Et on explode. Basketball court. One-on-one. Using the home court to his full advantage, Jo Eun-ho launches an aerial assault. A crushing punch that sends Jaewon sprawling to his knees with a thud. And this fight is just getting started. Cut. Deep in the mountains, Uncle Ki-sung is about to be gored by a wild boar. At the last second, the timid bear cub, Ielung, worried for his only friend, awakens its dormant wildness. Ielung goes berserk. Together, they take down the boar. From now on, it's a bear that's tasted battle. This new boar tusk necklace? It's personal veteran's medal. Jaewon and Ielung reunite. Well, look at those new eyes, little buddy. Seems like you've been through the ringer too, while I was gone. War Machine, engage. Park Myeong-joon rallies his troops at Changyak High, while Jaewon does the same at Jilin High. The order is spread. Train up. Gear up. Our target, Majin High. The new storm is taking shape. Meanwhile, the heartbroken Jong-yoon is still nursing his wounds, taking it all out on an innocent Junmin. Brotherhood? Friendship? In the face of harsh reality and growing ambition, how much are they really worth? Lee Do-baek's head is pounding. That guy calling himself Yin-sung, he's a complete ghost within our organization. There's only one logical explanation. Someone is impersonating the brown bears, and our arch-rivals, the Tanryong, are at the top of the suspect list. Brother Kisang's eyes light up with immediate understanding. The Tanryong are playing a dirty double-cross. They act under our name, so when the heat comes down, the blame gets dumped on the brown bears. It's a flawless frame-up. Just as the brown bears see through the plot, a high-risk mission is assigned. Meanwhile, at the training ground, look at that sandbag. It's been absolutely shredded. The intensity of Ji-woong's training has gone through the roof. Brother Kisang flashes a devious grin, a single finger sealing Lee Du-bok's fate. Your first mission, infiltrate the Tanryong and gather intel for me. Du-bok is stunned speechless. Me? The brown bear's young master is now our ultimate trump card. The very name, Kong Ji-woong, could be the final nail in the Tanryong's coffin. Park Myung-jun pulls people aside for a private talk, his expression dead serious. Their allies' growth is astonishing, but the real, deeper threat is still lurking beneath the surface. But despair creeps in for others in the gym. Damn it, what good is Song Jong-suk's strength if we're so weak? Against the monsters of Myeongjin High, groomed by gangsters, do they even stand a chance? Chang Jae is on the verge of a breakdown, but his friend reminds him of the cold, hard truth. We never had a choice from the start. Ji-woong's order is to help him until the Ji-jin Union falls. It's not a request. It's their only path to survival. The options are brutal. Train like hell and fight to the death against Myeongjin's monsters, or run now and be hunted down as traitors by Ji-woong and Jong-suk. It's a suicide pact either way. Their only choice is to grit their teeth and push their bodies to the absolute limit. On the rooftop, Park Myung-jun cuts to the chase. Ji-woong, about the fight with Myeongjin High. What's your plan? The air on the rooftop goes cold. Park Myung-jun reveals the chilling truth. I heard Hwang Dae-hwang has ties to organized crime, and that syndicate seems to be the Tanryong. The shadow of the underworld officially falls over the schoolyard battleground. Myeongjin High is no ordinary school. It's a nursery cultivated by the Tanryong gang to select and train their future enforcers. Students enroll there just to climb the underworld ladder. They're young thugs in school uniforms. The worst-case scenario, what if Tanryong members, who are also Myeongjin students, join the fight? This would explode beyond a schoolyard brawl into a direct war with the underworld. It's a game-changer of the worst kind. But here's the crucial twist. The Tanryong can't make a move, because Kong Ji-woong at Jiran High is now their shield. Attacking him is a declaration of war against the entire Brown Bear Syndicate. This is a fight between two mafia families, far beyond a student scuffle. A confident smirk spreads across Park Myung-jun's face. As long as the Tanryong stay out, our odds against Myeongjin's 7 giants look a whole lot better. But information is key, and they know nothing about their opponent's true power. Park Myung-jun pulls out his trump card. Park Ha-young, Hwang Dae-hwang's ex-girlfriend of 2 years. If anyone has the inside scoop on Myeongjin, it's her. The war for intel has officially begun. Scene switch. Hwang Dae-hwang is waiting for his big brother, but the man who arrives isn't who he expects. It's a sharply dressed, pink glasses-wearing enigma, Kim Min-woo, a Tanryong executive, personally making an appearance. Kim Min-woo drops a bombshell. Syndicate leader C1 wants to recruit Dae-hwang as soon as he graduates. Dae-hwang hits the ground in a grateful kowtow, but Min-woo's voice is ice cold. It's too early for thanks. The price hasn't been named yet. And here it comes, the mission. Min-woo says boss C1 has a headache he needs solved. If Dae-hwang takes care of it, his spot in the gang is guaranteed. Dae-hwang pounds his chest, ready for this mysterious task. The target is revealed, Brown Bear's heir, Kong Ji-woong. By trying to destroy the Ji-jin Union, he's threatening their carefully built system. Kim Min-woo's gaze is sharp as a blade as he orders, go. Stop him. The final showdown has escalated far beyond school feud. Want to take down Kong Ji-woong? Ji Min-woo, from the Dragon's Den, slaps the mission directly onto Hwang Dae-hwang, the current kingpin of Mujin High. The pressure is on instantly. One command, you must stop his rise. Hwang Dae-hwang breaks into a cold sweat on the spot, his throat tight, forced to agree through gritted teeth. But he doesn't realize yet, this isn't just an assignment. It's a one-way ticket into a bottomless abyss. Ji Min-woo turns to leave but drops a more terrifying hint. If all else fails, you can go beg your older brother. The one who left the organization long ago, but whose combat skills are monstrous. Eun Jian-woo. What? Use an outsider? Break the rules? The boss dismisses it all with a casual. So what if he's not in the organization? This shreds every protocol. It means the Dragon's Den will do anything to win. The real monster is being unleashed. Huang Daehuang clenches his fist. Pride tells him not to rely on outsiders, but the brutal reality stares him down. That opponent named Song Young-suk is a god of war on the battlefield. Inner conflict rages, sweat pours. In the end, the thirst for victory crushes his pride. The terrifying visage of the brothers, Mujin's Mount Tai and Mujin's gorilla, flashes in his mind, a symbol of power and the first step into the abyss. He lets out an agonized roar. No one knows if it's despair or resolve. With Jian Wu's help, things would become much easier. Once the thought takes root, it's impossible to stop. Huang Daehuang's mind races. That gorilla Jian Wu, he has the power to handle Song Young-suk. Maybe it's time to reach out to this legendary killer, thought to be long gone. A dangerous, hidden connection is being made. Cut to a seemingly calm restaurant. Our adorable green tea goddess, Moon Chae-yun, makes another appearance. She accidentally bumps into Sang-gu and his crew, picking up on a crucial detail. These guys also hate Lee Yi-ji. Moon Chae-yun's smile is sweet, but the gears are turning in her head. The enemy of my enemy is the most useful pawn. That fool Sang-gu is still thanking Lee Yi-ji for giving him a chance to eat with the goddess. Little does he know, every praise he heaps on Lee Yi-ji is just him tap dancing on Moon Chae-yun's landmines. Chae-yun smiles sweetly on the outside, but has probably cursed him out 800 times in her mind. Her friend looks equally exasperated. This meal is pure agony. The meal finally ends. Sang-gu, still trying to impress, offers to walk the goddess home and gets shut down instantly. But would Moon Chae-yun let him go? A simple "can we talk?" invitation, and he's hooked. Sang-gu blushes, heart racing, thinking he just hit the jackpot. He has no idea he's not stepping into a romantic dream, but a carefully woven spider's web. Moon Chae-yun leads Sang-gu into an alley and offers him a cigarette. Sang-gu doesn't smoke, but to look cool in front of the goddess, he takes it anyway. He can't even light it properly, ends up coughing his lungs out, tears and snot everywhere, utterly humiliating. But this is exactly what Moon Chae-yun wants. Crush his and establish her dominance. Right as Sang-gu is at his most pathetic, Moon Chae-yun drops the bombshell casually. Do you hate Lee Yi-ji? That one sentence pierces straight into the darkest corner of Sang-gu's heart. Like finding his tribe. He breaks down, tears and snot flowing, shouting, I hate her too. See how easily a connection is forged? The prey is halfway caught. Moon Chae-yun seizes the moment. Then, how about I help you? The fool Sang-gu reassure Shunko blurts out, I challenge Lee Yi-ji to a one-on-one fight. Tengu-ji. Moon Chae-yun is stunned, thinking to herself, this idiot coward. Indeed, you can never predict a fool's logic. But that's fine. The dumber he is, the easier he is to control. Elsewhere, Lee Dubal returns from meeting Uncle Gaiseng, his expression grim. He's clutching a golden business card stamped with DUF, a pass into the heart of the Dragon's Den. The terrifying underground fighting tournament DUF entrusting him with such a dangerous mission is both the ultimate show of faith and a trial by fire. Lee Dubal knows. This venture will end with him either returning a hero or not returning at all. But Lee Dubal is also seething inside. His useless little sister, Lee Yi-ji, botched her whole Mrs. Brown plan to get close to Kong Ji-woong. Now he's forced to activate the backup plan, using Moon Chae-yun to stir the pot. Headache-inducing. He tries to console himself. Think of it as insurance, accumulating more achievements. In the world of mafia errand training, every step is on a knife's edge. Home is supposed to be a refuge, but for Young-woon, it's the last straw. Panicked and seeking help from his uncle, he's met with a casual, cruel joke. Sol, what if she's with Shin right now? The words lacerate his already crumbling heart. His world shatters in an instant. With nothing left to lose, he shoves past them and vanishes into the night. Elsewhere, Shin Kyung-chul, now a rabid dog stripped of everything, is forming his pack in a dark alley. Shaved, humiliated, and broken, his eyes burn with pure, unadulterated hate. Men like Kim Jae-woo and Park Jang-in, full of their own grudges, answer the call. With nothing left to lose, he's prepared to drag Young-woon and everyone he cares about down into hell with him. The gears of fate grind mercilessly. While Young-woon searches the city for Sol, he stumbles upon something else first. Song Jong-suk's little sister, Dun, smiling like an angel as she nibbles on a pastry. It's a rare glimpse of warmth before the storm. But this warmth is being watched. Shin's crew watches from the shadows, their eyes locked on her. The wolves spot bigger game. Shin's gaze shifts from the little sister to the larger, more satisfying target. Song Jong-suk, limping towards his sibling, completely unaware. A top-tier fighter, isolated and injured. This is a gift. The target of their hunt changes in an instant. This tender moment between siblings is the cruelest of precursors to brutality. We see a side of Song Jong-suk never shown before. A brother so gentle, he treats his sister like a precious treasure. He loves her in his own clumsy, heart-achingly sincere way. The depth of this warmth makes the coming tragedy that much more devastating. The ambush is unleashed. 6 against 1, a premeditated assault on an injured man. Clubs and fists rain down from all sides. Song Jong-suk barely has time to react before he's engulfed in a frenzy of violence. His strength, his composure, none of it matters against sheer numbers and pure treachery. Young-won's heart stops. He and Doon watch in horror as their friend, beaten unconscious, is dragged into the back of a white van. It becomes a coffin on wheels, hauling him off to hell. Doon screams tear through the air, while Young-won's rage freezes over into something far more dangerous. But first, he must be a protector. Swallowing the burning urge to chase the van, Young-won kneels before a sobbing Doon. Don't be scared. I'll bring him back. It's a promise sealed in blood. He makes sure she's safe. Then, the clock on his vengeance starts ticking. But danger doesn't only lurk on one front. Another dark thread unfurls elsewhere. Lee Seo-jin receives a strange call from Sang-gu, one of Young-won's former underlings. The call is suspicious from the start, for behind it, the manipulative Moon Chae-yoon is weaving her own poisonous web. Moon Chae-yoon, pulling the strings from the shadows, devises a sinister plan for Sang-gu, self-defense. Provoke the target into striking first, then justifiably retaliate. It's a dirty trick, wrapping up schoolyard violence in a legal veneer. Sang-gu takes the bait, gleefully unaware he's just a pawn in a much fouler game. Hidden in a corner of the amusement park, Sang-gu's adrenaline soars, his mind flooded with visions of revenge. Lee Seo-jin, you're dead. Clutching his secret weapon, he fantasizes about crushing her. What he fails to realize is that the line between hunter and prey can be frighteningly thin. Lee Seo-jin arrives, confused and annoyed. Meanwhile, Sang-gu is unceremoniously shoved from his hiding spot by his own accomplice, forced into the spotlight like a clumsy fool. His meticulous plan collapses into awkward confrontation within seconds. The provocation fails before it even begins. Sang-gu's heart hammers in his throat. He desperately recites the lines Moon Chae-yoon taught him, trying to provoke her. I heard your friend got into that accident because you were the one driving, right? He thinks he's poking at a wound. In reality, he's tapping on a volcano. The first slap lands with brutal force, making his entire face go numb. Ugh, you hit me first. He exults in the pain, thinking the plan is working. He's got his self-defense permission slip. What he doesn't see is the inferno blazing in Lee Seo-jin's eyes, an anger that's burned through all reason. But Sang-gu's elation lasts for only a second. A second blow lands, then a third. Lee Seo-jin's assault is a hurricane, nothing like the take a few hits, then retaliate scenario he'd imagined. His prepared weapon is useless. He thought he was the hunter. He is, in fact, just a punching bag. Sang-gu is utterly demolished. The trap he set with such care is crushed like a child's toy underfoot. Lee Seo-jin's actions deliver a clear message. In the face of raw power and genuine fury, all underhanded schemes are worthless trash. In a moment of pure absurdity, mid-beating, Sang-gu produces his so-called secret weapon. What is it? A pair of black suspenders? He fumbles to put them on, convinced he looks so cool. It's the final, pitiful act of self-delusion from a character who's become a walking joke. The outcome is never in doubt. How dare someone like you? Lee Seo-jin's rage explodes. Sang-gu is beaten senseless, his suspenders torn to shreds. His self-defense becomes the school's biggest joke, and Moon Chae-yoon's scheme fails spectacularly at the first hurdle. But that only means she'll resort to something far more sinister next. We cut back to the main event. Shin's van vanishes into the night, leaving behind a murderous glint in Young-won's eyes. Song Jong-suk is gone. Sul is missing. Friends have turned. Everything he tried to protect is being violently ripped away. The Young-won who wanted to be a good man is dead. Tonight, a true bad guy will climb out of hell, and he's bringing a blade. The nightmare unfolds right before their eyes. Song Jong-suk, shoved into a van. Donyeon breaks down, her world shattering. Meanwhile, Kang Ji-woong, the bad man who just awoke, swallows his rage whole. The priority? The terrified girl. He holds her, his vow a raw promise in the chaos. I'll bring him back. After getting Donyeon to safety, Ji-woong sprints home, desperate for his family's backup. But the fortress is empty. His uncles are out cold, a pile of hungover bodies. His last line of defense is gone. And then, the cruelest twist, his phone rings. The caller ID flashes the one name that stops his heart, Sujin. He answers, only to hear the voice of nightmares. Seeing Byung-chul, you got them both. The ultimatum is chilling. Come alone to the abandoned factory. No cops, no backup, or they die. The last sliver of hope is severed. There's no choice. Ji-woon grabs whatever he can and bolts. On the road, he crashes into Lee Seok-ji, whose sharp eyes immediately read his desperation. I'll take you, she declares, firing up her motorcycle. In his isolated hell, she's the first flicker of light. He thinks she'll obey and leave. He's wrong. Watching his retreating back, Seok-ji's heart clenches. She doesn't leave. Instead, she steels herself and slips into the factory from another side. She chooses to step into the deadly game with him. While Ji-woon walks into a trap for his old love, his complicated new connection, Lee Yi-ji faces her own fire. She's cornered by Sang-gu. The coward, emboldened by some twisted plan of self-defense, makes his move. A fatal mistake. Sang-gu thinks he can provoke her into striking first. He succeeds. She's furious. But her fury isn't a liability. It's a weapon. A storm of punches descends. His fancy dodges and cheap tricks are utterly useless against raw power and rage. The fight is a brutal, one-sided slaughter. Yi-ji grows colder, more terrifying with each blow. This is all you've got. Her fist shatters Sang-gu's delusions of a cool, elastic strike, followed by a ruthless combo. He's launched like a ragdoll, crashing into a fountain, a pathetic, soaked mess. Utterly broken, Sang-gu scrambles up, babbling about finding help, about calling Mun Chae-yoon. What he doesn't know is that his supposed savior is already cornered. Chae-yoon is being blackmailed by Choi Jun-min, her damning text messages a sword hanging over her head. Meanwhile, a disoriented Sang-gu stumbles into a restroom, seeking refuge. He swings the door open to find Young-jeon washing his pants. The air freezes. Young-jeon takes in Sang-gu's battered face, pauses, and then does the unthinkable. He hugs him, offering a sincere apology. That hug is the final straw. First, Yi-ji's brutal fists. Now, this bizarre, earnest embrace from his former tormentor. Sang-gu's mind snaps. He crumples in the corner, a whimpering, broken mess. What kind of insane whirlpool has he gotten himself into? Sang-gu is now a complete wreck. Beaten to a pulp by Lee Seok-ji, he's desperate for help and runs to the last person he should be talking to, the perfect student Mun Chae-yoon. He shouts, "I'm counting on you," only to realize she's not even hiding. To top it off, his gut chooses this exact moment to betray him. A tough line barely out of his mouth, and he's already sprinting to the toilet, tail between his legs. Talk about a bad collision of fate. Sang-gu charges into the bathroom and slams right into the source of his childhood hug trauma, Kim Youngjin in his black jacket. One sits, one stands. The air freezes instantly. Long time no see. It's just the eerie calm before the storm. Look at Youngjin, clumsily washing his pants. Sang-gu tries to slip away, but Youngjin suddenly stands up, not to attack him, but to apologize. But you really think this is going to be peaceful? Mid-apology, this musclehead lunges forward, arms wide, mouth saying sorry, but those arms deliver a brutal, crushing bear hug. Sang-gu is completely trapped, smashed against his chest. No, history repeats. Sang-gu's eyes bulge out, every hair on his body stands on end. That same scent, that same position. His childhood trauma reactivates instantly. He tries to break free, but Youngjin's grip is like iron. Asterisk PPPP. The sound is the opening act to a symphony of terror. He's going to be sick. Breakdown. Complete and utter breakdown. Sang-gu's face is a mess of tears and snot, pinned against Youngjin's shoulder. He lets out one last, pathetic plea. "Let me go. Please let me go." And the man holding him so tightly just stares into the void, muttering, "You idiot." This is pure psychological warfare. Cut to Park Myung-jun, confident, calling for intel. Then his best buddy Youngjin calls back, stammering. Myung-jin's face drains of color instantly. What did Youngjin do? "I messed up again." That tone never means anything small. Meanwhile, Youngjin hides by the sink, scrubbing his pants like a madman, while another guy screams at him to hurry up. Whatever this mess up is, it sounds like he's dropped a bomb. Oh no. After that call, cold sweat instantly soaks Myung-jin's back. What could make this fearless guy so panicked? Only one thing. It's related to Kang Ja-woong. Ja-woong will go ballistic if he finds out. That's all he can think. His two guys want to go with him, but Myung-jun, pale-faced, insists on going alone. Youngjin, what the hell did you do this time? Meanwhile, the schemer Mun Chae-yoon is also in a panic. Her plan was to use the coward Sangu as a tool to deal with Lee Seoji. Total failure. Now she's hiding by an ATM, biting her nails raw, wondering how to play dumb. Too bad for her. A bespectacled man is watching from the shadows. Hey, that single word nearly stops her heart. The bespectacled man, Choi Jun-min, steps out with a smile that doesn't reach his cold eyes. His words are lethal. He flashes his phone, showing the chat logs where Moon Chae-yoon asked him to mess with Sangu's suspenders. Still think you can walk away clean? She tries to deny it, but the evidence is undeniable. Cold sweat pours down her face. Her secret plot? She was a pawn all along. Choi Jun-min has Moon Chae-yoon completely cornered. His phone is dead, and he insists on borrowing hers to message someone. The truth? His phone holds the secret conversations that could ruin her. If you cooperate, I'll keep your secret. She's trembling with rage, but she's forced to comply. Outwardly she agrees, but her mind is already racing. How to snatch that phone and destroy it. This game of double-crossing just leveled up. Meanwhile, Kang Ja-woong's group has just finished their coffee. In the square, they spot Lee Seoji sitting alone, with visible injuries on her face. The moment Ja-woong sees her, his expression shifts. Lee Ryujin, that shout holds shock, fury, and a flicker of concern he probably hasn't admitted to himself. Who? Who dared lay a hand on her? Ja-woong stares at the marks on Lee Seoji's face. The anger in his voice is a barely controlled fire. Your face, what happened? Who did this? She tries to brush it off, but her nervousness and the way she avoids his eyes tell the real story. Beside them, Myungjin's heart sinks, terrified it was Youngjin who did this. The tension skyrockets. And at this critical moment, a completely unexpected figure stumbles into the scene. Sangu, face bruised and swollen, crying rivers of tears. The guy sees Ja-woong as if he's a savior, throwing himself forward and wailing, Ja-woong, I knew you were a real friend. Then, in a blink, he turns his drama towards Lee Seoji. A trembling finger points at her as he shrieks the accusation. My face, it was Lee Ryujin who did this. The scene absolutely explodes. The villain plays victim first. Sangu plays the waterworks, presenting himself as the ultimate innocent. He begs Ja-woong for justice. It was that girl who beat me like this. Teach her a lesson for me. Beside him, Youngjin breathes a silent sigh of relief that the blame isn't on him. But Lee Seoji just lets out a cold tsich, looking at Sangu like he's trash. What a pathetic lie. Lee Seoji doesn't give him an inch, straight up accusing him of throwing insults first. Watching his lies unravel, Sangu sweats bullets. Then, the knockout blow arrives. The bystander, Ho, suddenly chimes in. I heard you want to beat up Lee Seoji. That question sends Sangu's soul fleeing his body. He's like a popped balloon, about to collapse in on himself. Ja-woong cuts straight to the chase, stepping closer. Sangu, is what Lee Seoji said true? The pressure from that question is immense. Meanwhile, another, even deadlier truth is revealed. It was the serpent, Moon Chae-yoon, pulling the strings behind the scenes. She coached Sangu. As long as she hits you first, it's self-defense, and so, Lee Seoji gave him that slap. And Sangu, he was waiting for that self-defense excuse. The truth comes out. Under Ja-woong's icily sharp gaze, Sangu's entire story falls apart. He stammers, contradicting himself at every turn. I'm innocent. Wait, she hit me first. I was just defending myself. Ja-woong's response is surgical. So according to you, even though she hit you first, you still hit Lee Seoji back. Is that right? That sentence is like a cold scalpel, precisely dissecting every layer of his pathetic disguise. Something's off. Sangu insists Chai-won was just here, but she's vanished into thin air. It's like she's a ghost. Sangu makes a desperate accusation, claiming Chai-won put him up to attacking Lee Yuji. She smirks internally. Is this idiot really expecting me to admit it? Dream on. Plot twist. The quiet Junbei suddenly goes nuclear, swearing there's evidence in the chat records. He's ready to expose it all. But when Junbei pulls out his phone, the screen is blank. There are no messages. Who's the real puppeteer is starting to become clear. Chai-won turns the tables with a look of deep disappointment. So, it was you lying all along? The blame shifts instantly back to Sangu. Sangu pleads she hit me first, but Junbei cuts to the heart of it. None of that matters. The one who hit Lee Yuji is you. Suddenly, the stakes are completely different. Battered and bloody, Sangu cries out to Ji-woong. We're the best of friends. Believe me. But with all evidence pointing against him, the bonds of friendship are cracking. Ji-woong takes off his sunglasses. His gaze is cold, unwavering. Since you're the one who hurt my friend first, our friendship ends here. A single sentence, a decade-long bond severed. Sang-gu breaks down, screaming at Ji-woong. You chose a girl over your bro. You pervert. But the pain of this betrayal cuts way deeper than any punch ever could. Left alone on the pavement like discarded trash, the friend comes to a dark epiphany. I was used and thrown away. And the real villain in this story? It's Kang Ji-woong. Ji-woong insists on taking Lee Yuji to the hospital. She tries to play it tough, but a seed of doubt is planted. Is this bad guy really who everyone says he is? Yuji finally concedes and walks away with Ji-woong and Young-suk. The drama of the broken friendship is over, but the real storm is just beginning to follow them. Meanwhile, the brains of the operation, Lee Du-pal, uses a stolen VIP pass to find the entrance to Taeyongpa's Dark Heart, the DUF underground fighting arena. Is he crazy enough to walk in? Caught almost immediately by a high-ranking member, Hong Gil-dol, Du-pal bluffs his way in by claiming he's a friend of Du Won-hyo. The gamble works, and he's escorted straight to Death Row, the VVIP section. The rules here are brutal. No surrender. Only knockout or unconsciousness. And presiding over it all from the stands is the boss of Taeyongpa himself. Du-pal, this isn't a scouting mission anymore. This is a suicide run. A fighter is late. No show. Desperate to avoid the boss's wrath, a frantic official begs Du-pal to fight under the name Black Hat. Refusal means death for the official. Trapped, Du-pal becomes an unwilling gladiator. His opponent, Kim Rim, faces him with a real sword. Du-pal's only weapon is a wrench. Facing death, he makes a wild move, throws the wrench away, and challenges Kim Rim to a fair fight. Bare knuckles only. Even without the sword, Kim Rim's karate is brutal. Du-pal gets absolutely hammered. Just as everyone writes off Black Hat, he spots an opening and grabs Kim Rim's ankle with a terrifying, bone-crushing grip. That familiar power. Relying on pure brute force and sheer stubbornness, Du-pal turns the tables and pounds Kim Rim into the mat. The arena erupts. This dark horse just caught the attention of the biggest monster in the room, Gun-woo. Meanwhile, visiting a friend in the hospital, a cold dread creeps over Ji-woong. Du-pal is missing. He can feel it. His friend isn't just investigating a gang. He's been pulled into a far more terrifying abyss. The real war has just begun. Revenge's fangs strike. Ji-woong seizes the opening, his infinite pickaxe fueled by 10 years of pent-up fury, shatters Shin Kyung-chul. Game over for the bully. But the fleeting victory dies. From the shadows emerges Shin Kyung-chul's trump card, Taeho-jo, a real underworld enforcer. This is no longer a schoolyard brawl. Ji-woong strikes land, but they're like tickles against Taeho-jo. The brutal reality of the underworld versus schoolyard thugs slams into him. Just as Taeho-jo's foot comes down for the kill. Bang! His ankle is caught. Gai-sang, the scar-faced enforcer, has arrived like a demon unleashed. Dominance. The so-called pro is dismantled in a flash. Gai-sang makes Taeho-jo a non-factor with one brutal move. Shin's entire gang is cowed and pinned. Police sirens wail, but the arriving Officer Kim just locks eyes with Yang Jae-wook. This school matter is ours. A single sentence reveals who truly controls this street. Cut to the other front. Lee Du-bak, the boss of Jurun High, sneaks into the Viper's Nest, the Taepung gang's underground arena, DUF. Every step is a landmine. He tries to stay hidden, but trouble comes sniffing. Two lowlifes corner Du-bak, shoving and spitting insults. His patience is a fuse about to snap. Ultimate disrespect. The bald thug wipes his back on Du-bak's clothes. The fuse burns out. Say that one more time. Who doesn't belong here? Want to fight? Huh? Do you? Pressure brewed, too long explodes. Lee Du-bak shreds the disguise. The true king of his school is back. Lecture over. Lesson begins. One punch, one thug down. His buddy tries to run. Sorry, you're not fighting today, because you're already KO'd by me. Sweep complete. Two bodies lie in the bathroom. Du-bak brushes off his hands. Mission continues. But a disturbance this big? The Taepung gang is now watching. Back at Brown Bear HQ, Gai-sang pets his bear, mind elsewhere. Du-bak hasn't T-checked in. Is it a sign he's deep undercover, or a sign he's in trouble? Inside DUF, Du-bak is cornered by Enforcer Hong Gil-dol. Mind racing faster than a bullet. He improvises, I'm a friend of your young master, Du Won-ho. The bluff works. He's upgraded from intruder to VVIP. Hong Gil-dol himself escorts him deeper, explaining DUF's brutal creed. Eliminate the weak, breed the ultimate weapon. The true master arrives. Du Dam, head of the Taepung gang, takes his throne. His scholarly gaze scans the arena, a meat grinder. The air itself turns heavy with dread. The 99th DUF begins. But the first fight is already weird. Red corner ready, but blue corner's Kim Dae-mok is a no-show. Confusion and suspense are the opening acts. The show goes on. Du-bok, alias Black Hat, is thrust into the ring based on his bathroom audition. His opponent? The reigning, arrogant champion, O.C.O. Dao. O.C.O. Dao crushes his opponent, then taunts Gunwoo in the stands. You're next. Confident but clueless. The Black Hat he's about to face will be his gravedigger. Just as the goon was about to land a hit on Jaiwon, a blinding glare of headlights flooded the abandoned factory. 3 black SUVs roared in, blocking every exit. Leading the charge was Uncle Q-sang. Before the hired thug could even flinch, Q-sang's hand was already crushing down on his shoulder, shutting him down in less than a second. A sickening crack echoed as the thug was slammed face first into the concrete, utterly immobilized. Jang Cheol and his crew froze in terror. This was a level of power they'd never even imagined. The tables turned in a heartbeat. Waves of brown bears surged from the vehicles, swiftly and efficiently pinning down every single one of Jang Cheol's cronies. Escape? Not a chance. Sirens wailed in the distance. But did anyone think the police arriving would mean justice? Officer Kim stepped out of his car. The first sight that greeted him? The brown bears. His expression shifted instantly. Q-sang walked over, offering a quiet, casual explanation. Under the cover of night, an unspoken pact was made between the police and the syndicate. Tonight's events were officially rebranded as assisting in handling a school violence and kidnapping case. Jang Cheol's crew's crimes were being edited before they even reached the charge sheets. With the crisis over, the crowd began to disperse. Jaiwon looked at the shaken Seojin, a storm of emotions churning inside him. He sent the others away with his uncles, but faced with his original, and now final, duty, he felt utterly lost. In the end, he stayed with her. They walked side by side through the now quiet night, their steps somehow leading them back to the familiar, nostalgic old neighborhood where it all began. This was it, the place where they grew up together. Every street corner, every lamppost was filled with the memories of kind-hearted Kang Jaiwon and Han Seojin. Seojin looked at the familiar sights and smiled softly. You know, she said, I still like kind-hearted Jaiwon the best. Those words sank into Jaiwon's heart like a spike. What she loved was a phantom from her memory, a version of himself he had personally destroyed and could never return to. In the deep night, their shadows stretched long under the streetlights. One was an angel longing for the past. The other was a wolf already on his path to hell. This road, for them, had reached its end. The dust settles, but some conversations can only happen alone. Jaehyun dismisses his uncles and the others, finally finding a moment of solitude with Soo-jin under the night sky. They walk back to their old neighborhood, every step echoing with memories. Childhood friends side by side, yet separated by an ocean of choices made. Soo-jin looks at the man who has silently protected her, a wave of warmth washing over her. She believes the kind Jaehyun she once knew is still there. Finally, she utters the words buried in her heart for a decade. You were the light in my darkness. I've only ever loved you. This long overdue confession is all of her courage. The air freezes. Soo-jin's hopeful gaze meets only Jaehyun's turn back. He can't face her, knowing he is no longer worthy of such a pure love. His voice cuts through the silence, cold and hollow. Soo-jin, you shouldn't try so hard. In this moment, the kind Kang Jaehyun is officially dead. He lays it all bare, each word meticulously shattering her every hope. I'm the heir to the Brown Bear gang. Don't look for me anymore. Go find a good person. Soo-jin's world shatters instantly. The light she chased has extinguished itself. 10 years of protection, repaid only with a final, brutal farewell. As he walks away, there's not a hint of victory in Jaehyun's eyes, only a chilling void. The path he chose demands he bury all tenderness, and he's just done it. But true storms are never born from broken hearts. Even as their world crumbles, a new tempest of blood and violence begins brewing in the city's underbelly. DXC Arena, the underground fighting arena. Some come to conquer, some to survive. And a mysterious man in a black hat is about to be thrown into a fight that was never his. The scheduled fighter, Kim Dae-mok, has vanished. The furious boss demands, find him now. A crisis that could cost lives needs a sacrificial lamb in the ring immediately. A suited man clings to his last hope, begging someone he calls Mr. Won-hyuk's friend. Please, if the first fight doesn't happen, my boss will kill me. In a life-or-death crisis, anyone breathing becomes a pawn. The man in the black hat is panicking internally. He's just an undercover agent for the Brown Bears, here to snoop on the Danryong gang, not to get into an actual bloody fight. But the suited man offers no escape. Surely Mr. Wonhyok's friend wouldn't ignore the Danryong gang's crisis? Damned if he refuses and blows his cover. Damned if he fights and gets killed. Cornered, his mindset shifts. Gathering intel, fighting firsthand to gauge their strength is valuable intel. He pulls down his hat, making a decision. His ring name will be Black Hat. The lights flash, introducing the blue corner fighter, a nobody named Black Hat. The crowd erupts in boos. What is this trash? Shame on Korea. No one expects anything from this sacrificial lamb. His opponent? Jinrin, a warrior from Japan's Tsutsuguchigumi. And what's more terrifying, he's unsheathing a real, sharpened katana. The first round rule. Asterisk, all weapons are allowed, asterisk. Black Hat's soul nearly leaves his body. A wrench versus a katana. In a desperate gamble, he clangs his wrench to the ground. Let's fight like men, with fists. The entire arena stares, thinking he's insane. Jinrin grins, respecting the guts, and actually sets down his sword. He removes his robe, revealing rippling muscle and a terrifying dragon tattoo. You think a samurai without his sword is weak? The real, empty-handed fight has just begun. The green lights of the underground arena cast an eerie glow. He takes off his hat, his expression not of fear, but of a hunter's calm before the strike. To uncover the truth about the Chandongbang, this young heir decides to step into the ring himself, using his fist to pry open the steel door to the truth. The opponent lunges. It's impossibly fast, far beyond a student's level. A fist grazes past. Damn it, much faster than I thought. But in the next instant, he settles into a stance. Trying to overpower me with speed? Fine, let me show you what a real fight looks like. Abandoning judo for pure, savage strikes? The crowd scoffs. A judo specialist trying to strike? He's asking for it. He sneers, images of his father and uncles flashing in his mind. You look down on the Janbang? Fine, let brute force do the talking. D. A torrent of fists rains down, even knocking his cap off. A spectator covers their mouth. This isn't a fight he can win. His panting opponent sneers. You've held on long enough time to end this. Is it over? No, it's just beginning. An instinctive save. He catches the opponent's ankle. He blocked it. In that split second of shock, his grip turns iron tight. Trying to run? Too late. The next moment, his opponent is hoisted and slammed into the canvas. Counterattack. Grip strength. Crushing, overpowering grip strength. The opponent's ankle threatens to snap in his hand, pain twisting their features. Step by step, he drives them back into the cage's corner. This isn't judo or karate. This is a declaration. This is my territory now. A storm of attacks overwhelms the opponent, but a suited spectator sees through it. He hasn't trained formally in fighting arts. He's just hitting someone. Exactly, just hitting. 10 years of pretending to be the good guy boils down to this moment, unleashing the feral instinct he suppressed. The referee rushes in. Stop. The opponent lies on the ground, foaming at the mouth, utterly knocked out. The match is over, but his clenched fist hasn't relaxed. This is the Chandongbang's game. Brutal, with zero room for mercy. The defeated man struggles to his feet, his gaze not of spite, but of a strange, grudging respect. He hands a cap back to the true victor. I truly lost to a real fighter. It's the underworld's peculiar tribute, a strong man bowing to a stronger one. The referee raises his arm. Winner of match 1, Black Hat. The crowd erupts. Beating the Japanese fighter felt great. A new king. But he knows, this is just the first hurdle. A far bigger beast, the one called Un-Gun Wu, awaits in the finals. Match 2 begins immediately. A chorus of frenzied shouts rises from all sides. Black Hat, join the Chandongbang. On the high balcony, a man with red glasses and a cigarette calmly observes the spectacle with his companion. This time, we've caught ourselves an interesting little bird. The prey has entered the hunting ground. A sudden scene change. Twilight falls outside St. Heart's Hospital. 3 figures converge with a single goal, to visit a girl named Ji-hyun. Beneath their casual banter, an ominous undercurrent flows. The calm surface of daily life is a lie. Dangerous tides are already rising. In the hospital hallway, a blond man sweats nervously. Sure, lower your voice. Don't let Dae-hi and Hyung hear. But the long-haired guy laughs it off. Why not? We'll invite him to the beach too. In the next instant, Dae-hi and Hyung himself appears and smacks him on the head with a book. Playtime is over when discipline calls. Dae-hi and Hyung stands outside room 305 but doesn't enter. Leaning against the wall, a faint smile plays on his lips. I'm not that tactless. Go in and chat. He leaves the space to his friends. This is the last fading trace of gentleness he keeps for his life in the sunlight. The hospital room door swings open. 3 visitors burst in excitedly. Yiyeon. The girl in the bed stares at the former rivals now gathered together. Shock turns to tears. It's true. You all came back. Shattered bonds are slowly, painfully mending in this place of ruin. He leans against the door outside, listening to the laughter within, a sound he hasn't heard in ages. You guys, thanks for coming together. He checks his phone, brow furrowing. Speaking of which, why hasn't Dubak replied? Want to take everyone for barbecue. A thread of worry quietly tightens in his chest. His ally, Park Dubak, is currently in another kind of hell, the underground arena. The previous champion, O.C. O'Dowd, dominates his opponent, roaring his challenge to the void. Wait for me, Un Gun Woo. Backstage, the real Black Hat clenches his fists, cold sweats soaking him. O.C. O'Dowd will be my next opponent. Warmth in the hospital, slaughter on the stage. 2 seemingly unrelated threads are slowly twisting into a deadly rope, with Kong Ji-woong at the center. On one side, his brothers in a belated reconciliation. On the other, sworn enemies and trials by fire. From this point on, his life has no way back. An underground duel, wrapped in money and violence, kicks off. The self-proclaimed one returned from hell, Soo-jun, is the first to step into the ring. Everyone thinks he's just a madman out for revenge. The fight begins. Soo-jun's opponent, Gao Yuani, flits around like a flea, constantly provoking. But Soo-jun? He doesn't move, just stands there taking every hit like a monster with no sense of pain. This bizarre scene leaves the entire audience bewildered. His opponent gets cocky, thinking he's found an immovable punching bag. He's wrong. Soo-jun's rage has been simmering for months. He's not waiting for these small fry. The moment Gao Yuani gets close again, Soo-jun's fist finally moves. One punch. Just one punch. The gracefully dancing opponent flies across the ring like a ragdoll, blood and snot spraying. Soo-jun announces in the most brutal way, "You trash aren't worthy. The man I'm waiting for is Yin Jianyu." He roars that name, his voice echoing through the arena. All the rage and frustration built up over 6 months explodes at once. This isn't a match. It's a sacrificial ritual to reach his ultimate prey. 1 KO. The referee shouts Soo-jun's name. The crowd erupts. But no one notices the young man in the corner wearing a black hat, his face turning deathly pale. He just saw what he feared most. The champion, Yin Jianyu, is inhumanly strong. The challenge is here. Soo-jun directly calls out the champion Yin Jianyu, setting the arena ablaze. The gamblers are ecstatic, certain they'll see the champion crush his foe. Backstage, the members of the Tanlong Syndicate smirk. This is the drama they orchestrated. Only the young man in the black hat breaks out in a cold sweat. Faced with the blatant provocation, the champion's manager tries to stop it. But the crowd's thirst for blood is overwhelming. The match rules are altered on the spot. To everyone's shock, Yin Jianyu agrees. The real monster is about to enter. Down below, an undercover Lee Duobo feels his heart pounding in his throat. He observes the Taishan, the champion, and spots a discrepancy. This champion is younger than me? The mismatch between age and power fills him with dread. He knows his infiltration plan may have run into the hardest wall possible. The spotlight hits the ring. The champion, Yin Jianyu, the Tanlong Syndicate's most terrifying young genius, steps out. He's only 18, but the aura of menace he exudes would make veteran killers tremble. In front of him, even Soo-jun's presence suddenly seems diminished. Let the fight begin. On one side stands Soo-jun, a man burning with 6 months of vengeful fury. Opposite him is champion Yin Jianyu, his face expressionless, eyes as cold as if observing an insect. This is a slaughterhouse of a mismatch, fueled by private hatred. The fight is over almost instantly. No matter how frantically Soo-jun attacks, Yin Jianyu blocks and counters with terrifying calm. One punch, then another. Soo-jun, who was once so menacing, is now knocked down and out like a sack of potatoes. Absolute, utter domination. Result announced. Winner, Yin Jianyu. The arena erupts into a frenzy of celebration. Meanwhile, Lee Duobo in the corner feels his soul draining away. Staring at that monstrous figure on the ring, only one thought remains in his mind. I'm dead. If I face him next, I'm finished. While Lee Duobo is consumed by fear, in another part of the city, Jiang Jixiong, the former nice guy gangster, is undergoing the most brutal combat training. His sparring partner is his old-school rival, Song Zhongxua. The lesson of the day is simple. Learn how to get hit. Song Zhongxua shows no mercy, demanding he ditch the protective gloves and enter a fight for survival mode. If you only know how to hit but can't take a hit or dodge, you'll never be truly strong. These words hit Ji Xiong's mind like a nail. The fight begins. It's no longer a one-sided beatdown. Song Zhongshua's attacks are a violent storm, each punch carrying genuine killing intent. Ji Xiong blocks and dodges clumsily, drenched in sweat instantly. He must forget his past kindness, using his body to memorize pain and danger. Choose, dodge it, take it, or block it. Under immense pressure, Ji Xiong's potential is forced out. He seizes a fleeting opening and unleashes his signature move, the grip strength punch, shattering Song Zhongshua's body protector with a resounding crash. Song Zhongshua drops to his knees instantly, clutching his abdomen, gasping for air. The training gear was actually pierced. Ji Xiong himself is stunned. He stares at his own fist in disbelief, horrified by the explosive power he unleashed in that single moment. Meanwhile, Jian Ho just finished dealing with some unlucky fools. On the phone, the boss demands a report. Wiping blood from his knuckles, Jian Ho smirks. He wasn't just here to fight. He squeezed some very useful intel out of these trash bags first. Cut to the Dragon's Den, the DUF underground arena. A carefully staged show is underway. Codenamed Black Hat, Lee Dubok faces former champion O.C. O'Dowd. Dubok's one and only mission, to lose. So he takes the beating, making the crowd restless with his lack of fight. O.C. O'Dowd's punches grow bolder, taunting Dubok as a punching bag. That single word detonates a fuse. The suppressed fury under the black hat erupts instantly. The counterblow begins. The human punching bag transforms into a predator in a blink. Parry, punch, another punch. The force, the speed, it leaves the former champion dazed. This is the brown bear style. Even playing possum, they can crush a tiger. The whole arena erupts. The crowd goes wild, thinking they've found a true god. The host screams, the final match hype exploding. Only One Ho's friend in the corner sweats bullets. He knows the plan is spiraling out of control. But Dubok's mind is sharp. He knows winning is a death sentence. Just when everyone thinks he'll end it, he feints, deliberately exposing himself to a submission hold. Thud. The black hat fighter is locked in a merciless hold. The referee counts. The crowd groans. O.C. O'Dowd wins, but the victor's face shows terror far over joy. He knows he just cheated death. Mission accomplished. Dubu perfectilusis. Backstage, a Dragon Clan executive offers a card with a fake smile, trying to recruit this gifted loser. Dubok feigns weakness, nodding, but his mind screams, the fish is hooked. Cut back to Song Jung-suk. Inside the judo dojo, this human weapon is undergoing special training. He's taking a stance of an incredibly dangerous technique, the legendary liver shot that can cripple a man in one blow. He explodes in a movement, fast as a lightning strike. Park Myung-jun, watching from the side, breaks out in a cold sweat from the sheer, terrifying power. A single inch off the mark with this move, and it's far worse than a trip to the hospital. Meanwhile, in an even darker arena, the DUF Underground Fighting Finals. The ring is already stained crimson. The reigning champion enters. Yin Jinyu, the monster they call humanity's strongest. The entire stadium is going wild for him. The challenger, Wu Shuda, is a top-tier fighter in his own right. But all his determination and roars seem utterly pathetic in front of Jinyu. The moment they clash, it's the most brutal kind of head-on collision. But the gap is crushing. Jinyu's fists are like live artillery shells, one after another, blasting into Shuda's gut and ribs. There's not even room to breathe. Shuda is completely dismantled. His arms are so swollen he can't bend them, his vision blurs. Is Jinyu not even sweating? Is this guy's defense made of steel too? Back in the ring, Shuda is being dismantled alive, hanging on by sheer will. In the dark VP seats, the head of the Tanlong Society watches and grades him. Good potential. We can use him. In a final burst of fury, Shuda unleashes a devastating combo that defies his size. Everyone thinks this is the start of a comeback, including a mysterious man in a black hat in the audience. His heart tightens. This guy, he's scarier than Huang Daehuang and Song Jung-suk combined. It's pointless, all of it. Shuda gives it everything, only to find his opponent like an unfeeling iceberg, his expression unchanged. Shuda is dying of exhaustion, but Jinyu looks like he's just finishing his warm-up. What kind of monster is this? The answer comes with a vicious uppercut. Jinyu's done playing. He fires back a punch that feels like it shatters the air. Shuda barely has time to think. Who the hell are you? Then his consciousness and his body fly in opposite directions, crashing into the edge of the ring. Cow. The entire fight was a clean, brutal domination. The champion is still the undefeatable monster. Ian. Jian. You. The stadium erupts. Gamblers who lost their shirts wail. The winners go mad with joy. But the man in the black hat has no time for that. He secretly raises his phone. His real target isn't the champion, it's the suited man in red glasses smoking beside him. He got it. The man who might be the Tanlong Society's top executive, Yin Sanyu. Mission accomplished. Now, he has to disappear into the frenzied crowd, slip away from this hellhole like a ghost. Successful exfil. The man in the black hat, Li Dubok, finally catches his breath. But he doesn't know the photo he just took is a bomb about to explode. One far more dangerous than any underground fight. Late night on a side street, Dubok meets his handler, Gai Sang. Disguised by walking a cute pet bear, Gai Sang cuts straight to the chase. Did the infiltration work? Were you exposed? Dubok flusters internally, but deflects with a laugh, immediately playing his trump card. Never mind that. I got a photo of the big fish. He pulls up the Yin Sanyu photo on his phone. Gai Sang leans in for a look and freezes on the spot. Wait, that's Kim Minwoo. The smile vanishes from Gai Sang's face, replaced by staggering disbelief. Kim Minwoo. Isn't he one of us? A subordinate of Saiwen Hyung inside the Brown Bear Society. What was he doing deep inside Tanlong territory, standing in such a core position? The mystery instantly escalates into a horrifying conspiracy. Gai Sang reacts with lightning speed, realizing the gravity. He cuts off all talk outside. Stop right there. We're going inside now. This has to be discussed behind locked doors. A secret rooftop meeting begins. All evidence points to a terrifying conclusion. There's a mole in the society, and a high-level one at that. Kim Minwoo is likely a Tanlong plant, a pawn sent to stir up conflict among the heirs of the different factions. Unaware of any of this, Kong Jiwoong is at a friend's place, zoning out while hugging his teddy bear, Ielwung. He was just training the liver shot with Song Jung-suk for the decisive battle against Mujin Hai. He doesn't know the battlefield he's about to enter has a deadly viper coiled behind it. Gai Sang gives one final order. Li Du-bok, from now on, you're not a fighter. You're a satellite. Your one and only mission, protect the young master during the battle at all costs. The old guard of the organization, led by Ki Song, is on high alert. The mole, Kim Minwoo, is suspected of being a pawn sent to sow discord among the potential heirs. An invisible war for the succession is already brewing in the shadows. The connection between Eun Jianyu and the wanted fugitive Eun Chan-woo spells trouble. This isn't a low-level betrayal anymore. Is the leader himself, C1, involved? It hints at a conspiracy from the very top. Acting rashly will only tip their hand. Ki-song holds back the urge to eliminate the threat. He needs to watch C1's next move. If the betrayal is real, it means C1 has a powerful backer, like their sworn enemy, the Dragon Gang. Trust no one. Ki-song orders this to be kept top secret, even from Ji-woong himself. He's the center of the storm, yet he must remain in the dark for his own safety and victory in the upcoming fight. Ki-song is leaving. A chilling thought strikes him. What if the target isn't just Ji-woong, but all potential successors? He needs to investigate other regions to see the full scope of this conspiracy. Other young masters? Everyone thought Ji-woong was the chosen heir. But Ki-song lays out the truth. His position is far from secure. The other young masters who lost out must be seething with resentment. The perfect tinder for C1 to ignite. The pieces are set. The mission to protect Ji-woong in secret is passed to Dubok. Meanwhile, the Crown Prince himself remains blissfully unaware of the turmoil, completely absorbed in perfecting his new finishing move at the dojo. Dubok, this stays between us. Not a word to the young master. If he gets distracted and loses to Mujin Hai, we all lose. You're not a bodyguard. You're the failsafe. Watch his back. Understood. I'll orbit the young master like a satellite. No dirty tricks from the Dragon Gang will get past me. But the biggest danger he faces might not be from the enemy. Alone after the briefing, Dubok breaks into a cold sweat. Secrets, conspiracies, Dragon Gang, the Eun brothers, rival schools. The fragments swirl in his mind. To find the truth, he must confront the most dangerous piece, Won-hyo himself. Speak of the devil. Won-hyo calls. Perfect chance to probe. But the first words from the phone freeze Dubok's blood. What were you and Ki-song chatting about so happily on the roof? Dubok's heart sinks. How does Won-hyo know? He manages to arrange a meeting, then flees in a panic. His only refuge now is the one place he can think of, the First Under Heaven dojo, where Ji-woong is training. Back at the dojo, the Crown Prince Ji-woong unveils his latest creation, the liver burst technique. The science? Pure grip strength. Channel all your power into your fingers and target the gaps between the ribs. It sounds less like a move and more like torture. This move is strictly prohibited on unarmored targets, especially friends. Ji Woong sweats bullets himself. That grab nearly shattered Ming Jun's ribs. This isn't just a fight, it's a one-way ticket to prison. Myung Jun collapses, drenched in cold sweat. He felt the grim Reaper's breath on his neck. Fine, put on the armor. Let's keep training. For intel, for victory. He'll take the pain. The trio embarks on their mission. Head to Mujindong to find the info broker sister Park Ha-young. The area is a living map of violence and chaos. Ji Woong isn't scared, but he warns. Keep Song Jong-suk's little sister Dune far away from this place. It's like a movie slum. Narrow alleys, dim light, an indefinable stench in the air. Relying on his hazy childhood memories, Myung Jun leads them through the maze. They finally stop in front of a derelict building. A ruin? No, let's call it a secret base. Park Ha-young laughs as she appears, but her smile is bitter. Their base was stolen by a bald, fat thug. Looks like they'll need leverage for this intel trade. The info broker sees right through them. Park Ha-young isn't giving away Mujin high intel for free. She gives a charming smile. Want the goods? We need a better atmosphere. Let's talk over drinks. In the dark alleys of Mujindong, an information deal is underway. Park Myung-jun and Young-woo meet veteran informant Park Ha-young, who demands a price, friendship first. Want the intel? You gotta drink with us. They move to an underground warehouse. It's cold and shabby, but Ha-young calls it setting the mood. Young-woo is baffled. Table's right there, but we sit on the floor? This vibe is just plain weird. Ha-young, cigarette in mouth, schools these rookies like a seasoned pro. The mood is set, but it feels more like a power play. Myung-jun's taste in friends gets roasted, while Young-woo and Sung-soo become the subjects of scrutiny. Glasses clink, non-alcoholic drinks go down. It looks like casual socializing, but underneath, it's all probing and testing. Myung-jun tries to liven things up, but Young-woo remains on guard. Any slip-up in front of these veterans could be fatal. Young-woo finally takes a sip. Is it the alcohol? No, it's Myung-jun's impatience. He downs a cup, eyes fierce, and lays it out flat. Ha-young Nuna, let's get to the point. The relaxed party vibe shatters instantly. Here comes the main event. Mujin High's 7 Giants. Ha-young drops a bombshell right off the bat. They have 8 members. Under boss Hwang Dae-hwang, at least 4 or 5 are on Sung-soo's level. Young-woo breaks into a cold sweat. The intel spills out like counting beans. Number 7 Kim Woon-shik, a wrestling brute with brawn, but no brains. Number 6 Ju-wook, a weapon-wielding mad dog transfer. Number 5 Park Han-sung, a dangerously cute-looking sociopath. Number 4 Choi Byung-ho, TSK, a cash cow, who bought his way up. The real threats are the top 3. Lee Chong-min, trash who preys on the weak and girls. Shin Min-ho, a strength monster who fought Lee Du-bak. And the strongest, Hyo Bak, an ultimate maniac who trains with bikes and can tear iron bars as weapons. Ha-young crushes her cigarette. Just watch out for these 3. Hearing they have to take on these guys, Myung-jun's crew loses heart. Ha-young pours cold water on them. You're not qualified. You need someone on Lee Du-bak or Hwang Dae-hwang's level. The atmosphere freezes. Then Myung-jun suddenly points at Young-woo and shouts the shocking truth. The one who beat Lee Du-bak is him. The bombshell explodes. Ha-young and her friend are stunned. Since they left school, has the sky actually changed? Someone capable of beating Lee Du-bak just appeared out of nowhere. Shock gives way to barely concealed excitement. With Mujin intel and the guy who beat Du-bak, Mujin is finished. The mood shifts drastically. Myung-jun says they should leave but gets held back. Stay, Jun. He leans in and whispers to Ha-young, promising to arrange a meet with Sung-soo next time. Turned out, his initial plan was to trade Sung-soo's presence for intel. Young-woo was just a bonus surprise. Once they leave, Ha-young's mask drops. She calls her friend a foolish woman who didn't even catch the coded message about the bald, fat pig. The intel is given, a favor is owed, but the real intent seems lost on them. This contact is far from over. Elsewhere, Lee Yi-ji's call comes in hot. Fresh from dinner with Hwang Dae-hyan, she finds out Myung-jun took Young-woo and Sung-soo to see Park Ha-young. On the other end, Myung-jun is still cheekily calling her Yi-ji-ssa. Her temper is already boiling over. Myung-jun is still blabbering about their strategy meeting. Yi-ji cuts him off, ordering coldly, "Bring them to the amusement park. Now." Her voice is ice. Some bullshit strategy meeting. To her, these 3 idiots probably got played and even drank. She needs a face-to-face reckoning. Outside the amusement park, Yi-ji's approaching footsteps with her book sound like war drums to Myung-jun's ears. Young-woo looks off, flushed and overly excited. He drank? This only makes the alarm bells and Yi*G's head scream louder. The interrogation starts the moment they meet. You drank with Park Ha-young? Myung-jun is sweating bullets, stammering just one glass. But Yi-ji knows these underworld tricks all too well. One glass is enough to buy a promise or plant a ticking time bomb. Myung-jun is still bragging about completely figuring out Mujin Hai, but Young-woo is panicking. He spots the book Yi-ji dropped, Mujin Hai's Special Tactics Manual. It's his lifeline. He must hand her the reins, or their pitiful scraps of intel won't cut it. Young-woo goes full drama mode. Picking up the book, he presents it with devotion and yells, "Professor Lee Yi-ji, please begin the lecture." Myung-jun and Kim Young-gun are left speechless. In this desperate situation, this is his only and smartest way out. Cling to the tactician for dear life. Yi-ji closes her eyes and takes a deep breath. The anger is suppressed. Looking at these hopeful faces staring at her, she knows she still has to clean up this mess. She opens her eyes, places her hands on her hips, and unleashes her full aura. Since you said so, the operation to eradicate Mujin Hai begins now. The first sentence of the strategy meeting makes everyone hold their breath. Our goal is not to crush the 7 giants all at once. Yi-ji opens the tactics manual, her gaze sharp as a blade. It's to start with their secondary officers and pluck them out one by one, all of them. The curtain on the great battle is raised by the coolest head. The night before the final showdown, heavy with rain, Lee Yi-ji, the one and only mastermind of the alliance, is issuing final orders to the 4 leaders right outside Starbucks. What she's holding isn't a latte. It's the blueprint for victory or annihilation. Their faces are grim. They know one single misstep, and tomorrow won't be about graduation. It'll be about lying in a hospital bed. The odds are stacked impossibly high. Lee Yi-ji lays it bare. They have 7 top fighters. We have 4 aces. She starts the ruthless roll call. Ji-woong, their leader is yours. Test your new technique on him. Hyunbok's strength is in his legs. Park Myung-jun, you're the Taekwondo specialist. Shut him down. And Song Young-hyuk? His turn is coming. She wasn't asking for opinions. She was giving a verdict. Shin In-ho, the roided-up muscle monster. Young-hyuk, you match him blow for blow. Crush him with pure power. When Young-gun volunteered for number 3, she cut him off with a smirk. Too easy. The remaining ones, all of them are yours. This wasn't a strategy meeting. It was signing a contract with hell. Then she dropped the real game changer. Intel. The Mujin guys, they come to school separately. She locked eyes with Young-gun. You. Take everyone you have. Hit them when they're alone. Target 7 through 3. Leave no one breathing. Remember, we can't win a fair fight. Their jaws dropped. Ambushing them one by one. That's just dirty. Wednesday was the day, because they were most punctual then. But Park Myung-jun, fueled by hot blood, argued, we should take them all out in one go. The real kicker was for Ji-woong, whose new move was itching for a fight. Leader, you're on the bench. The frustration was real. Yi-ji's logic was as cold as a scalpel. You 3 are the leaders. Your fight must be face-to-face. That's called honor. Then she turned to Young-gun. The dirty work of this ambush belongs to you. With one sentence, she caged the aces for the finale and sent the blade forward. Young-gun blushed, but swallowed his fear and took the mission. Park Myung-jun was still hung up on the word dirty. Yi-ji's retort hit like a slap. We were never equal in numbers or power. Even if we take a few out with ambushes, the next fight will be suicide. Her brutal truth extinguished any naive hope. This wasn't a game. It was a survival war. But those very words ignited Young-gun's spirit. Dirty? Perfect. I'm a real bad guy now. No turning back. Cornered and desperate, the boys found twisted courage in embracing the bad guy label. They even named their new alliance after it, the Bad Guys Alliance. It was a rallying cry born from despair. Watching the overexcited bad guys dance around, Yi-ji's headache was splitting her skull. They're so unreliable, but the final battle is tomorrow. We have to let them go for it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, their secret ace, Lee Do-bak, was walking into a trap. Do Won-hyuk had summoned him for a talk. One look at Do Won-hyuk, and Lee Do-bak's heart sank. The guy was a carbon copy of his father, Do Dam, in looks and probably in ruthlessness. Sure enough, Won-hyuk shoved a phone in his face. Kyung, what's the plan? Entering the underground arena as my friend? Your little secret is out. On the screen, a video of Lee Do-bak fighting for his life in the DUF arena. If I tell my dad the truth, you're a dead man. Won Hyuk's threat coiled around him like a viper. But then a twist. I'll keep your secret. On one condition. You have to shut one more person's mouth. Who could it be? The click of high heels gave the answer. Do Won Young. Do Won Hyuk's older sister and the DUF arena's hostess made her graceful entrance. Cold sweat-drenched Lee Dubak. Won Hyuk's grin was vicious. You have to make my sister stay quiet, too. Keep her from telling Dad. Dubak found himself tasked with silencing the princess of the dragon altar gang herself. Du Won Young and Lee Dubak, one a dragon altar princess, the other a bear gang spy, were pushed together by fate. They walked away side by side to talk things over. Won Hyuk watched them leave, his inner monologue dripping with irony. Dubak Hyung is bear gang, but my sister is dragon altar. The dangerous game between siblings had just begun. Back to the storm's eye. Lightning split the sky. Rain poured down. The top fighters of Mujin High were fully assembled, predators ready to feast. Since they're dumb enough to challenge us, let's give them a proper welcome. Their eyes held no fear, only the thrill of crushing their foes completely. In a tense assembly hall, the Mujin leader raised a call to arms. The alliance from Jurun and Sangwol dared to attack our sister school, Majin High, under the banner of crushing us. The hall erupted, but they spotted a critical weakness. Lee Dubak and Huang Daehuang aren't on their roster. This is our chance. Finally, the top dog of Mujin, Huang Daehuang, stepped forward, radiating absolute dominance. The reason Mu in our name comes first in the alliance is because we are the strongest. This wasn't a declaration of war, it was a death sentence. Outside, the rain-soaked gymnasium stood silent, its only mourners the sound of rain and cicadas, grieving for the bloodshed to come. D-Day. Morning. The downpour hadn't let up. For ambush squads, like ghosts, had already melted into the rain, lying in wait on their targets' routes. Young Gun checked his phone. 7:30. Operation commence. The trigger was pulled on a brutally lopsided hunt. Young Gun's eyes were glued to his screen, sweat mixing with rain. If I fail here, I'll have no face to show those who trusted me. The pressure was suffocating. But then, one by one, the bad news came in. Choi Byung-ho, Park Han-sung, Zhu Wook, Kim Woon-sik, all of them are late. The plan was falling apart from step one. He roared in frustration into the rain. The meticulously planned ambush was a joke before it even began. And in another alley of the city, the true predators waited. Masked faces with cold eyes watched their unsuspecting target in the rain, Kim Woon-sik. In a heartbeat, the roles of hunter and prey were reversed. Young Gun, your targets were hunters all along. The blitz begins. But to everyone's shock, Kong Jawung's meticulously planned multi-pronged strikes are failing from the get-go. In the rain-soaked alleys, his squadron sent to take down designated targets are finding nothing but confusion. The numbers are off, the intel is wrong, and the whole operation is spinning out of control. The alley fights erupt. 1, 2, 3. Jirun forces land their hits, but Mujin High's lieutenants aren't pushovers. Blows are traded, blood is spilled, but clean, quick takedowns? Forget it. The situation devolves into messy, bloody skirmishes. And the most ridiculous fail of them all, Kim Un-sik, suppose number 6, strolling down the street like it's a sunny day, music blasting, gets ambushed and taken out by 3 guys with bats. Another strike team gone. See the chaos? Total mayhem. Ambush the lone target, they said. Instead, it's 3-on-3. Hey, weren't we supposed to get just one? Why are there 3? The ambushers themselves are panicking, sweating bullets. Intelligence failure has destroyed the element of surprise. But not all is lost. This squad's got their heads on straight. 3-on-3, we're good. They've got their sights on target number 5, Park Han-sung. The curly-haired kid's still humming to himself. Completely unaware, the hunter's noose is already tightening around his neck. This is the squad, led by Kim Yong-jian. They know they're the spearhead, clearing the path for the main force. Our brothers are counting on us. We can't let them down. Duty overrides the initial panic. The real hard fight is about to begin. Go. Kim Yong-jian leads the charge. All that hell training was for this day. A swing of the bat, and an enemy's head snaps back. What the hell? The Mujin thugs are stunned, scrambling for their phones. No phone calls during a fight. A fist silences them. A red-haired punk is pinned to the wet ground, still spitting threats. You Jurun bastards, you're finished. He tries to hit a button on his phone for backup. Pathetic. No phones during a fight. The device is ripped from his hand, snuffing out his last hope. Begging for mercy? How much do you want? The answer is a brutal kick to the gut. Not interested. Kim Yong-jian shows no quarter. Target Park Han-sung, confirmed neutralized. But this is just the appetizer. Now here comes the real trouble. The guy in the yellow and blue jacket humming a tune. Number 5 Park Han-sung himself. The ambushers are overconfident. We got this. Charge. They have no idea what kind of monster they've just provoked. 3 seconds. That's all it took. Yong Jan-hyung and his whole crew, who were just roaring with confidence, are now scattered on the ground. Park Han-sung stands over Kim Yong-jeon, laughing maniacally. You brought all these people, just for me? Wahaha. The difference in power is astronomical. In the rear, Kang Ja-woong makes his final preparations. Take down Moojin High, and the alliance is finished, just one last push. He thinks the front lines are advancing, completely unaware that his first-wave spearhead has just been brutally broken. Lee Yi-ji comes to pick him up. Get on. Seeing Ja-woong's bright smile, Yi-ji feels a secret thrill. She doesn't know that behind that smile, Ja-woong is gambling everything on one desperate, brutal battle. Splitting into 2 teams. Yi-ji with Ja-woong, Myong-jun with Young-suk. Their motorcycles tear through the rain. Bystanding students gawk. What kind of combo is that? Are they going to fight? The aura of the final battle saturates the entire district. All forces assemble. Yi-ji coordinates calmly. I'll gather the others at the rendezvous point. Ja-woong looks at his reliable allies, confidence brimming. All right, let's move out too. Thunder rumbles in the distance. The final charge is moments away. And on Moojin High's side, inside the gym, the remaining 4 of the 7 giants are growing impatient. Where are they? Should have taught them a lesson earlier. They smoke, they chat, oozing confidence and utter contempt for their late opponents. Even without those 4, we're not weaker. Our numbers are overwhelmingly superior. Outside the window, a sea of dark figures has already surrounded the gym. A massive crowd, all Moojin fighters. This was a trap all along. The door is kicked open with a bang. Give him some corporal punishment. You're late. The Moojin giants yell arrogantly, but the figures stepping in are nothing like the small fry they were expecting. The Moojin fighters' eyes widen in shock. Wow, what? How are you here? At the forefront stands Kang Ja-woong, his gaze as cold as steel. Behind him, Park Myong-jun and Song Young-suk radiate terrifying pressure. Kang Ja-woong stares down the so-called 7 giants before him and the hundreds of fighters blackening the windows outside. Slowly, deliberately, he unleashes his war cry. I will crush the Mujijinjiang Alliance. The real final battle starts now. It's go time. Jiang Jixiong, Song Zhongshua, and Piao Mingjun kick in the gym door, standing toe-to-toe with the core 7 giants of Moojin High. Their opponents sneer, thinking they're easy pickings. Little do they know, while all the small fry of Moojin are out hunting for his advanced scouts, the real target is already at the heart of their den. In the rainy night, the vanguard, Piao Haixing, is in a frenzy. His speed is monstrous. A single flying kick is all it takes to teach a lesson, scattering the goons like bowling pins. They are no match for Piao Haixing at all. He moves like a whirlwind, his punches and kicks a blur, making the goons question reality. Is this really the guy ranked 5th? This is top-tier power. But it's hard to fight many with few hands, especially against rats that attack from the shadows. A guy with a bat tries to backstab him, only to have it snatched away before being thrown to the ground in a flash. The alley is littered with moaning goons. Piao Haixing wipes blood from his mouth, pure killing intent in his eyes. He hates people mocking his hair the most. They kept calling him curly. Well, now they can be honored by his fists. Just as he's about to regroup with the main force, the real crisis strikes. A golden-haired, muscular giant, built like a fortress, appears silently behind him. He's trapped, a lethal chokehold from behind. The giant's immense strength threatens to crush his windpipe. He struggles desperately, cursing his cowardly opponent, but it's useless. The 2 roll in the mud, locked in a brutal life-or-death grapple. The muscular giant refuses to let go. Piao Haixing's consciousness fades from lack of oxygen, his eyes starting to roll back. The vanguard has fallen. The number 5 of Moojin High, Piao Haixing, is choked unconscious in the muddy rain by the muscular monster known as Shenin Hao. This is Moojin High's opening warning shot to Jiang Jixiong's alliance. Back in the gym, Huang Dahuang stares contemptuously at Jiang Jixiong and his 2 companions. Just the 3 of you think you can take down our Moojin High? As for our other brothers, they're busy dealing with your trash outside. The mouths on these Moojin guys. They mock Song Zhongshua for his past aloofness and now accuse him of mingling with trash. That's the last straw. Talk is over. The silent Jiang Jixiong strikes first. No more words. His fist rockets straight into the face of the most obnoxious loudmouth in red. A single punch. The once arrogant guy in red is sent flying instantly out of the fight. Ji Xiong flexes his hand. Now, the numbers are even, right? One-on-one. King versus king. Piao Mingjun faces Mu Jin's legwork expert Su Bo, while Song Zhongshua's opponent is none other than the terrifying muscle man who choked out Piao Haixing. Shenin Hao. Su Bo starts by showing off, claiming Piao Mingjun's kicks are weak. Mingjun responds with a lightning-fast high kick, even faster than Su Bo's. Su Bo is shocked. This kid got skills. The other matchup is even wilder. Shenin Hao stares at Song Zhongshua and asks his first question. What's your total for the big three lifts, squat, bench, deadlift? Song Zhongshua is baffled. Is this a fight or a powerlifting meet? Shin Inhao doesn't care about rules. A devastating punch follows his question. The power of a 580 kilograms big three total. Song Zhongshua blocks hastily, his arms going numb from the impact, stumbling back several steps. This monster's strength is terrifying. Meanwhile, in the center of the gym, the two faction leaders finally face off. Huang Dahuang arrogantly boasts he can finish Ji Xiong in 3 seconds. Ji Xiong only smirks coldly. He's no longer the rookie who only relied on brute force. Inside the gymnasium, the final showdown erupts. Huang Dahuang, the self-proclaimed strongest of Mujin, roars with the authority of tyrant. Think of Kong Ji-woong as a bluffing rookie? Think again. There's not a shred of fear in his eyes. Try to overpower Kong Ji-woong with brute force? Huang Dahuang, you're being naive. When everyone's fists are coming for Ji-woong, he gets distracted, his mind racing. Crap. Will Jung-suk handle that hit? That's Kong Ji-woong for you. Even in a life-or-death fight, his brothers are on his mind. Look at Song Jung-suk. Mouth split, blood dripping. But what's with that look in his eyes? Chillingly calm. Everyone just focus on winning your own fights. Don't worry about me. One sentence encapsulates his leadership. The pride of Jiran rests on both of their shoulders. Huang Dahuang's fist slams down, and an arm immediately goes numb. That's the power of Mujin's boss. But what about Kong Ji-woong across from him? Takes a hit, doesn't even flinch, and gets calmer. Sorry, I was distracted. I'll fight properly now. That sentence marks the start of the real counteroffensive. Things go sideways for Park Myong-jun. That guy Hyok Bak plays dirty, pulling out a pink unicycle and going into cavalry mode. Myong-jun is getting run over, the situation turning comically grim for a moment, but it's a desperate place to be. But don't forget, what is Kong Ji-woong's specialty? Grip strength. Just as Hyok Bak gets cocky, Ji-woong closes in from behind and locks on. The word grip flashes. Everyone thinks it's over. But the next moment, agonizing pain shoots through Ji-woong's neck. A counterkill. The enemy resorts to a weapon. A pickaxe rips right through Ji-woong's hand. But what does he do? Clenches his teeth and yanks the damn thing out of his own neck. Get lost. In excruciating pain, Kong Ji-woong's willpower explodes into white-hot rage. The brutality of the fight reaches a new level. When Huang Dahuang touches the bloody hole in his own neck, he's utterly lost. This lunatic pierced through flesh with just his fingers, and the Kong Ji-woong across from him smiles. He gets it now. Under extreme training, his finger strength has evolved too. Pierce through. At this moment, a new skill awakens. Huang Dahuang's fear is just beginning. Huang Dahuang panics. That bizarre grip technique, where's it aiming? The philtrum or the collarbone? This fatal choice paralyzes his mind. And Kong Ji-woong's attack is already whipping through the air. He makes his choice, defend the collarbone with everything. But Kong Ji-woong's hand, light as a feather yet lethally precise, stabs toward a different vital point. His philtrum. A ding-dong. The sound of victory is more ironic than any heavy blow. Bullseye. Direct hit. Huang Dahuang clutches his face, howling like a stuck pig. Everyone is stunned, his own allies included. Pressing the doorbell? What kind of messed up move is that? Kong Ji-woong doesn't care. This one strike shatters the pride of the Mujin king. Huang Dahuang isn't done. He roars and charges, desperate to return the humiliation. Jiran is beneath Mujin. He's mistaken. As he throws his final punch for the finish, Kong Ji-woong calmly grabs his wrist. I have a different opinion on that. The declaration of a counter-death blow. Grab, lift, slam. A fluid combo that gives Huang Dahuang no time to think. The once invincible boss is slammed into the floorboards like a punching bag by Kong Ji-woong. The technique of fighting dissolves into the pure aesthetic of overwhelming power. Coughing blood, Huang Dahuang still talks tough. Safe falls are basic. Know your place, punk. Kong Ji-woong is already past that. He takes a deep breath, something inside him hissing. The real new technique is about to make its grand entrance. When the words grip strength once again engulf the arena, Huang Dahuang's reason snaps. Block where? The The philtrum? The collarbone? It feels like he's not being attacked by one person, but by countless hands tearing at him mercilessly from all sides. Infinite grip descends. Pickaxe combo. Kong Ji-woong's final grip secret art. Like splitting rock itself. Huang Daehuang's agonized screams are proof his will is crumbling. Damn it, I have to block. That sentence was his final, futile struggle before total defeat. It's over. All of Huang Daehuang's power evaporates under Kong Ji-woong's final blow. He lies on the floor, nose and mouth steaming, a broken mess. Kong Ji-woong just breathes heavily, drenched in sweat, but his eyes declare Ji-run's victory. Inside the gym, the dust settles. But the world outside is churning with dark currents. Lee Yoji looks down from a high vantage point, breath catching, pupils constricting in horror. She sees it, a sea of dark forms. Every damn low-level member of Mujin High is converging outside the gym. Inside the gym, Kong Ji-woong raises his arms in triumph. An unprecedented feeling of exhilaration washes over him. I won. I did it. He thinks beating Huang Daehuang means conquering all of Mujin. The storm brewing outside, he's blissfully unaware. While Kong Ji-woong shouts in triumph, on the floor, the half-dead Huang Daehuang fumbles for his phone with a trembling hand. His eyes are venomous. Big brother, I need Jianwu's help. A secret message, an invitation to ruin, is sent. Enjoy yourselves while you still can. The gears of conspiracy start turning. Kong Ji-woong's next battle, against an army of 100, is just around the corner. 1 minute he's texting, Big brother, I need help. The next, he's been beaten into this unrecognizable mess. This Huang Dahuang is covered in scars on his neck and chest, blood still trickling from his lips, yet he's still screaming. Screaming that you, Jiang Zhixiong, have underestimated him. These are the most terrifying opponents. You think you've taken them down, but you've only broken their bodies. The maddened, desperate will to drag you down with them is still burning. Hopelessness? No, this is the prelude to a comeback from a truly hardened man. Huang Dahuang's teeth are almost ground to dust. The phone screen displays the last emergency plea. His body is already screaming in pain. But his final thought? Let the enemy laugh while they still can. A bloody ultimatum like this isn't a bluff. It's the resolution to drag you down into hell with him. Back alleys on a rainy night, the breeding ground for dirty tricks. Look at these guys, mouths taped shut, piled up in a corner like trash. This is the gangster world. One day you're calling someone brother, the next, you might become the trophy he cashes in for favors, disposed of in a forgotten corner. Our seniors will look good if we're first. For someone else's reputation, they'll treat people as objects. That's the law of the jungle they live by. With the fight over, the cleanup begins. When you lose, you don't just fall. You kneel, your hands and feet are tied, your mouth is gagged, left to weather the rain like a piece of trash for recycling. The name Lee Cog pops up, meaning they're in a hurry, afraid of being late. See? Violence to them has become an assembly line, efficient, ruthlessly devoid of pity. On another, different battlefield, the atmosphere is strange. A light drizzle outside the gym, yet the air inside is thick and explosive. That scar-faced uncle, Jin Shixiang, is a veteran. His mission was executed cleanly. But it's precisely this calm that's the most unsettling. Huang Dahuang's roar is that of a trapped beast, and the man grabbing his collar, with a casual not allowed, holds the eye of a bigger storm. The killing blow always comes when the opponent thinks it's their turn to unleash. Here comes the twist. Beaten Huang Dahuang plays his trump card. So you have a few dozen guys inside? I have dozens more outside. If it's not us walking out of here, none of you will leave in one piece. This is a declaration backed by pride and the lives of his men. The scene shifts instantly from trapping the turtle in a jar to inviting wolves into the house. Everyone's heart is in their throat. Out of my way. Jiang Zhixiong is charging in. He's internalized Uncle Daishu's decapitation tactics. Dozens of enemies? Cut off the head and the body dies. He is going after their boss. No plan, pure adrenaline. His teammates are frantic, but Huang Dahuang's fist doesn't care for explanations. This blow lands on Zhang's face and rings a warning bell in our hearts. Green Shades dude, Subo is it? Dare to mock us? Let's see him laugh about Park Myung-jun's kicks now. A single spinning kick, full of wind pressure, shuts him up instantly. Glasses flying, body tossed like a rag doll. You think this is just a schoolyard scuffle? This is an elder brother teaching a young punk the meaning of respect. Comedy strikes. After the glasses fly off, everyone sees the truth. This Subo isn't bald at all. He's rocking a fabulous pink and purple mohawk. This earth-shattering secret makes even Huang Dahuang on the other side lose his cool, screaming, "You're not bald?" And Park Myung-joon delivers the final blow. "Bro, your haircut is awesome. Why hide it?" Deadly situation? Cue hilarious detour. Having your secret hairstyle exposed in public has consequences. Su-bo is fuming, specifically ordering his underling, Lee Chong-min, to get my bike. This bike sounds suspicious. Another henchman is already on his knees, sweating bullets. Su-bo's gaze could cut sharper. He senses it. Something crazy is coming. Here it comes. The so-called bike is launched through the air. It's a unicycle? Su-bo catches it flawlessly, cooing, "You're here, my love." Then, in front of everyone, he mounts it. What now? A circus act or a fight? Everyone's brain just blue-screened. Is he insane? Su-bo explains his cavalry theory with a straight face. His legs are the horse. The unicycle is the saddle. He is the cavalry of the new era. Speed equals power. Park Myung-joon is dumbfounded. The punches rain down from above. He can't block them, can't counterattack. This is unfair, cheating tier combat. Kill mode engaged. Su-bo starts spinning the unicycle in place. The gym filled with the whoosh of speed and his maniacal wah-ha. He's moving so fast he's leaving afterimages. Everyone who's seen my bike is dead. Top speed 75 kilometers per hour in here. This isn't a fight anymore. He's operating a human meat grinder. It's over. The observers deliver the final diagnosis. Park Myung-joon is done for. Unicycle juste, clone technique. Su-bo has become a human tornado, spinning at impossible speeds, eliminating all angles of attack or defense. This won't stop until Park Myung-joon falls. Park's only thought is pure dread. Damn it, I can't see the next attack coming at all. War drums are pounding. Inside the gym, the life and death battle comes to a climax with a roar of game over. But outside, in the pouring rain, lies the real battlefield. Lee Seok-ji watches from a high vantage point, coolly observing. So the little rats are all waiting out here as expected. Yet there's no panic on her face. Her own battle standards are rising in the rain. Key player Jin Young-jin hasn't arrived yet. Lee Seok-ji decides to wait. He's vital. Right then, a voice, hysterical with joy, cuts through the storm. Wahaha! I beat Huang Da-huang. Jiang Ji-xiong, soaked to the bone, runs like a madman, broadcasting his victory to the world. But he's not running toward his allies. He's charging headlong into a thick, murderous crowd of enemies. Jiang Ji-xiong stands alone, arms spread wide, in the center of a sea of dozens of enemies. My name is Jiang Ji-xiong. I beat your boss. You small fry. He thinks he's intimidating them. In their eyes, he's a walking, talking promotion and bonus package. Their eyes are glinting with greed. Take him down, and we're getting a promotion. Oh boy, Jiang just delivered himself to their doorstep. But did you think he was the only one this reckless? Lee Seok-ji's migraine finally cracks. Plan B launched. She rushes to the school's main gate, shouting to her assembled allies. Did you all hear that? Jiang Ji-xiong took down Huang Da-huang, and now he's cleaning up. Instantly, long-suppressed bloodlust is ignited. A massive brawl, all to rescue one hopelessly brave idiot, erupts in the downpour. A rainy night, and the streets burn with vengeance. The Brown Bear Gang's reinforcements pour out, shouting Kong Ji-woong's name. Meanwhile, the bullies from Mujin High are still arrogantly taunting them. The line between friend and foe has completely blurred into chaos. But outside this bloody prologue, a darker subplot begins. In a damp alley, a boy, bound and gagged, shivering in the rain. He's just become an unexpected pawn in a much larger, more dangerous game. A passing bully from Mujin High stops dead. The wet pavement reflects his confusion. He recognizes this captive, but this kid isn't from his school. In that instant, a simple act of violence gains the scent of a deeper conspiracy. Meanwhile, elsewhere on campus, a different kind of madness unfolds. Hyo Bak, one of the fearsome seven heads, is clownishly riding a pink unicycle, crushing the fallen Park Myung-joon. His garish taste and bizarre weapons have turned this fight into a full-blown, absurdist spectacle. Your match is over. Hyo Bak pulls the unicycle's seat out with the grace of an assassin, then asks an even more insane question. What is a thing where every part is a weapon, but together it's a vehicle? This isn't interrogation, it's pure humiliation. The answer, a bicycle. In a flash, Hyo Bak reassembles the parts into a terrifying giant hammer. Park Myung-joon is out of time. Watching from the shadows, Song Young-suk's pupils shake. He can't wait any longer. Not a second to lose. Song Young-suk bursts into the fray like a panther, slamming an opponent aside with a shoulder. But in a fight between elites, distraction is fatal. His interference just gave Hyobok's ally, the furious, orange-clad giant Lee Chongmin, the perfect opening for a killing blow. A massive fist crashes into Song Young-suk's face. Hyobok wipes blood from his lips, sneering that this punk even looks weak. Lee Chongmin is ready for a 3-on-1 beatdown to finish this. The room just went from a duel to a dead-end ambush. Park Myung-jun. Young-suk's still worried about his friend, but a horrifying sight catches his eye. Hyobok, holding a bloody kitchen spatula. Did he just down Myung-jun with that? Park Myung-jun's apology dies in his throat. Hyobok grins, saying he's always wanted to fight Song Young-suk one-on-one. Lee Chongmin roars, furious, telling Hyobok to stay out his fight. Three maniacs screaming at each other, with Song Young-suk right in the center of their crosshairs. Faced with this chaos, Song Young-suk just smiles. Sweat, blood, exhaustion? It doesn't matter. He wipes his mouth. If that's how it is, then bring it on, all of you. Those words are the match to the fuse. The fight explodes to white-hot intensity. I knew we should have ganged up. The three pounce like wolves. Young-suk's target is crystal clear. Take out the leader, Lee Chongmin, first. He takes a hammer blow, his arm like iron, just to get close enough for a vice-like chokehold. Song Young-suk, what kind of monster are you? The last spectator watches in pure terror as Young-suk ruthlessly takes down Lee Chongmin amidst the chaos. The colder, more calculating Hyobok knows. Time's up. He flashes his most dangerous smile yet. Hyobok's bicycle evolves once more, this time into two gleaming blades. At the same moment, he barks a final order to his last underling. Grab him. The real killing blow is about to land. The dirty tactic works. Young-suk is locked in a bear hug from behind. He can't move, and Hyobok is already high in the air, launched from his pedals. The point of a blade gleams with murderous intent, aimed straight at Young-suk's vulnerable back. Schlick, the sickening sound of steel piercing flesh. Blood blossoms on Young-suk's back, yet the monster clenches his jaw. Not a single cry escapes him. Even Hyobok is stunned. Is this guy even human? But Young-suk isn't unscathed. Agony sears through him like magma. Yet this is the moment he's been waiting for. The guy holding him thinks he's won. In that split second of arrogance, Young-suk explodes. A savage suplex. A deafening crash against the floor. Lee Chongmin is smashed into a daze. Young-suk staggers to his feet, blood pouring from his back, but the fire in his eyes only burns brighter. Slowly, terrifyingly slowly, he turns to face the knife-wielding Hyobok. The room falls dead silent. Only the sound of Young-suk's bloody, limping footsteps remains. Thump, thump. He's not backing away from Hyobok. He's closing the distance. Try stabbing me again. It's no longer a provocation. It's a declaration of the hunt. That look finally shatters Hyobok's arrogance. I'm Hyobok, a man of action. He screams, slashing forward again. But this time, he's facing a wounded, enraged, completely unshackled beast. Song Young-suk's iron fist is about to deliver the final answer. This is bloodshed in broad daylight. In a school, Song Jong-suk is breathing hard, and that pink knife is right there on the floor. He jumped in to save Park Myung-jun, but now he's the one caught in a 2-on-1 killing field. What did a high school fight start looking like a gang war? The rain pours down like it's trying to wash away this whole bloody mess. Lee Seoji watches the one-sided chaos from the sidelines, and her thoughts are racing. The tides have turned, and their side is getting pushed back, hard. It's not looking good for Kang Ji-woong either. Facing a sea of enemies, his allies are running on fumes. Just as despair is about to take hold, reinforcements smash through. Kim Yong-jeon, battered and bloody, throws a game-changing punch that shatters the hopelessness. In the pouring rain, two battered allies finally meet. No long speeches, just a single glance and the impact of their fists meeting. The signal for the counterattack is given right here, raw and desperate.